raids. We'll get you all about the charges, the counter charges. What is this case about? We'll get you all the details on this story. Then we'll move on and we'll get you an update on the horrific death that took place in the NCR region, the death by dowry. I have two important questions this evening. This man, Nikki's husband, was a serial abuser. We'll get you two important videos to show that. And the question to the family, was Nikki not even 18? Was she underage when she got married? She was married off by the family. And then later we'll get you the details about the cloudbursts and the flash floods which have in fact shook Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, still reeling under these freak weather conditions. We'll get you all the details on that as far as the show is concerned. But let's at this moment start with Saurabh Bharadwaj. Now, you can see on your screen Saurabh Bharadwaj at this moment. These are earlier shots where Saurabh Bharadwaj, the important minister, is an important member of the Aam Aadmi Party. But in the national capital today, along with the showers that took place in the NCR region, it was raining political barbs between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. And that happened after Saurabh Bharadwaj, the leader of the Aam Aadmi Party's media-savvy spokesperson and former minister, was raided by the Enforcement Directorate this morning. As we speak, the ED raids continue at the residence of Saurabh Bharadwaj, who up till now was seen, enjoyed a clean image, was seen as a media-savvy technocrat kind of image, and who is a close confidant of Arvind Kejriwal. After losing the elections of Delhi, this is the first time that the Aam Aadmi Party leaders are facing the Enforcement Directorate heat. The allegation is about irregularities in hospitals which were made under the regime of the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's very quickly at this moment tell you what is this entire case. The allegations is of corruption to the tune of 5,590 crore rupees. The allegation is that it was in the greenfield hospitals, new hospital, brownfield hospitals, some hospitals which had to be upgraded. All that comes under these allegations. Now, after that, the hospitals, 24 of the Delhi government hospitals were approved in the year 2018 and 2019. Now, this was in fact later flagged. The projects were not completed on time. There have been issues as far as the completion of these projects are concerned, and the cost also escalated due to many delays as far as these projects are concerned. The complaint was filed against Saurabh Bharadwaj and Satyendra Jain, initially on the complaint of now Speaker of the Delhi Assembly, Mr. Vijender Gupta, which was sent to the Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor sent to the ACB, and now the Enforcement Directorate has jumped in, and they are saying that it seems that there is money laundering also involved as far as this case is concerned. Now, how has the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP reacted to this? What has been the charge and the counter charge as far as this entire story is concerned? The Aam Aadmi Party has said that the raids have been conducted to divert the attention on certain issues that the Aam Aadmi Party is raising, including that of Prime Minister's degree. That they made a campaign as far as this entire thing is concerned. The BJP says ED has confirmed doubts which have been raised by the BJP. Like, even before the investigation, the raids are at this moment going on. We don't know what will be found, what will happen, but the BJP thinks that this confirms their doubts. The Aam Aadmi Party also says that it's BJP's policy to jail AAP leaders, harass them in the false cases. The Aam Aadmi Party's allegations have been countered by the BJP, saying the AAP is hiding behind many scams on the development plank, and now the new government is unearthing all those planks. Modi government is misusing the agencies, is the charge of the Aam Aadmi Party. AAP government looted the people of the Delhi is the counter from the BJP. Let's listen to some reactions.
ईडी ने आज सौरभ भारद्वाज, जो कि आम आदमी पार्टी दिल्ली के अध्यक्ष भी हैं और पूर्व में मंत्री भी रहे हैं, हॉस्पिटल घोटाले में उनके यहां रेड करें। भाजपा बार बार ये कह रही थी, इसमें एसीबी भी अब इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है और बड़ा स्पष्ट है, कई हॉस्पिटल तो चले ही नहीं। कई हॉस्पिटल्स के अंदर हजारों करोड़ के इक्विपमेंट्स लाके डंप कर दिए क्योंकि वो चलने लायक नहीं थे। और ये काम रुका नहीं अभी भी। अभी यही पार्टी पंजाब में जाकर इसी तरह से वहां पर भी चेहरा बदलकर लूटने का काम कर रही है। मैं ईडी की इस कार्रवाई का जहां वेलकम करता हूं, वहीं उम्मीद करता हूं कि जो पंजाब में भी घोटाले हो रहे हैं, सरकार और ईडी तुरंत उन पर भी कार्रवाई करेगी।
ये रेड बिल्कुल फर्जी है। मोदी जी की डिग्री के मामले से ध्यान भटकाने का तरीका है। आम आदमी पार्टी को डराने धमकाने का तरीका है। लेकिन मैं प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को और पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ये बता दूं कि आम आदमी पार्टी ने आज तक ना 1 रुपए का भ्रष्टाचार किया है, ना 1 रुपए का भ्रष्टाचार करेंगे। आप चाहे कितनी भी रेड कर लीजिए, आम आदमी पार्टी कट्टर ईमानदार पार्टी है। भ्रष्टाचार का 1 रुपया भी हमारे किसी नेता से आपको नहीं मिला है और नहीं मिलेगा।
Now, this is not the first time that the Aam Aadmi Party leaders have faced trouble as far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned. Let me just give you a sense about the other top leaders, and you are seeing them on your screens at this moment, whether it's Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, and also Satyendra Jain. Now, remember, Arvind Kejriwal was arrested. So was Sisodia, so was Sanjay Singh, and later Satyendra Jain was also arrested. What were the cases under which they were arrested? Aam Aadmi Party leaders who are facing legal action, prosecutory action at this moment, former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Now, remember, Mr. Kejriwal was released on bail by the Supreme Court in September 2024, just ahead of the Delhi elections. He's facing charges as far as the Delhi excise policy case is concerned. He was arrested on March 21st, 2024, and then later he was released on bail as far as that case is concerned. Now, he was possibly the first sitting chief minister who was arrested, put behind bars, and then he ran his government. He said, I will not resign, I will run the government from inside the prison. He has been accused of money laundering as well. Those cases continue. They are yet to go to trial as far as those cases are concerned. Manish Sisodia, former deputy chief minister of Delhi. Now, Manish Sisodia was accused in the Delhi liquor policy scam. Allegations were that he is the mastermind, the kingpin, as far as this is concerned. He was arrested in February 2023, stayed in the jail for a very long time, almost 2 years. He was released on bail by the Supreme Court in August 2024, charged with corruption and money laundering as well. Now, Satyendra Jain, another important minister as far as the Aam Aadmi Party government, former government is concerned. He was also charged with money laundering, arrested on 30th May 2022, and remained in jail for a long time, was released in 2024, has been accused of using shell companies to launder money. Sanjay Singh, Aam Aadmi Party MP of the Rajya Sabha, was also arrested on October 4, 2023, and his status, he was also set out on bail. And so were some other leaders like Amarullah Khan and others in the various cases as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. They have been saying all these are false cases. Nothing will come out of them. Many of them have not even gone on trial. Let me very quickly at this moment go across to Minister in the government of Delhi. Mr. Ashish Sood is joining us at this moment. Ashish bhai, बहुत shukriya. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. Let me begin by asking you, sir, Aam Aadmi Party rubbishes these charges. They are saying Saurabh Bharadwaj, who so far, enjoyed a very clean image, he is being falsely targeted. Bogus charges are being leveled against him.
What is new in this statement by Aam Aadmi Party or their leaders today? Look at the statements they were giving for last 4 years, since 2021 when their leaders were started being arrested. The same old story. We are Kattar Imandar, you will not get anything. But the law takes its course. Aam Aadmi Party has a card in their pocket, which I called as victim card. Today, what they were saying, just to divert the attention from the PM's degree, Saurabh Bhardwaj has been raided. I don't understand what kind of rubbish logic they give. They should apologize to the people of Delhi.
Okay.
They should introspect the way they have been misusing, misappropriating the funds. They have been using the government for their own political motives.
Okay.
That is coming out. That is
Okay,
coming out slowly.
Okay, let me ask you some important questions that have been put forward by the Aam Aadmi Party regarding this very specific case. One charge is that it is politically motivated because Mr. Vijender Gupta was the original complainant as far as this case is concerned. It was sent to LG, which they accuse of being in cahoots with the BJP. And then it was sent to ACB, and the Enforcement Directorate has now jumped in. The allegation is about misappropriation of more than 5,000 crores in the construction of the hospitals between 2018 and 19. Saurabh Bhardwaj was not even a minister at that point of time. How does he become responsible for that?
Bhardwaj was health minister since 2023. It pertains to around 24 hospitals, 11 greenfield and 13 brownfield hospitals. Look, what Aam Aadmi Party has always been doing is, they always say that there has been a conspiracy against them. Vijender Gupta, being a leader of opposition, was duty bound to expose their misdeeds. He had information. He went to the ACB, filed a complaint. Law took its own course. The FIR was registered somewhere in June 2025. After due diligence, it must be. I don't want to comment upon the merit of the FIR and other thing because everything is being subjudiced or is under probe. They have always been saying this, that they have been targeted wrongly.
Okay, but Ashish bhai, there is.
Just give me 5 seconds to
Sure,
complete my
sure. Please go ahead.
If this is so, why this logic has not been bought by the people of Delhi? Manish Sisodia, the so-called man who has revolutionized the education, changed his seat, lost miserably. The Masiha of Lokpal, the maybe Kejriwal Andolan, he lost his seat. Both of them were asking for a Bharat Ratna for Satyendra Jain. This logic is not being bought by the people of Delhi.
Gave a verdict. They gave a verdict in favor of the BJP in the elections that happened earlier this year. And the Aam Aadmi Party lost after 11 years of being in power. But let me ask you this, sir. You are a minister today. Can tomorrow a complaint which was being made... Hold on, sir. Just let me complete my question. Tomorrow a complaint which was made when, let's say, Saurabh Bhardwaj or Manish Sisodia was the education minister, how are you liable for that complaint? That's the same logic that they're asking. Saurabh Bhardwaj was not even a minister. He became minister in 2023. That was after 4 years of the period in which these irregularities have been alleged.
Look, Cabinet has a collective responsibility. If Saurabh Bhardwaj was a minister, if something wrong was done before he took the charges, was it not? We are in a Westminster form of government where the cabinet has collective responsibility. You cannot say that Mr. Kejriwal did all the bungling, or Mr. Kejriwal cannot run away by saying that I did not sign a file. Manish Sisodia signed a file. I am not responsible. The democracy does not work like this.
Westminster but the cabinets were different in 2018 and 2023.
Come again?
The cabinets were different in 2018 and 2023. 2020 elections happened. Then the Aam Aadmi Party won again. And in 2023, Saurabh Bhardwaj became a minister. So how is he responsible for what happened in 2018?
We cannot finalize the case here deliberating on the television.
Sure.
Ankit ji, sure. These are all the allegations made by the Aam Aadmi Party. They have always been alleging that we have been targeted wrongly. It has been always been their stand. But like for last few days, for last 3 days, they have been saying Satyendra Jain has been freed by the CBI, which is a false statement. They are used to create a false narrative. They are habitual of creating a narrative. They are disruptors. Their politics revolve around disruption. Let me complete that, Kiji. Their politics revolve around disruption. They try to create disruption, shouting loudly as if everything is going against them. Everybody got the bail. Everybody, the law took its course. Every leader of theirs got the bail. That doesn't mean that they are not accused. Kejriwal was
but that also doesn't mean that they are guilty of the accusations that have been made against them.
Kejriwal was given bail saying that he will not go to his office.
Yes.
And they claim he has been acquitted. So they are used to create this kind of narrative.
I agree with you on one thing, that both in politics, I mean, both the sides try and use whatever the situation they can. Aam Aadmi Party thinks bail is acquittals, and BJP thinks that charges are, proof of them being corrupt. But let me ask you this, sir. Do you think? नहीं मैं जस्ट कह रहा हूँ कि जिस तरीके से दोनों पार्टीज यूज करती हैं इन चीजों को, मैं सिर्फ आपसे ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ।
जमानत देते हुए ये कहा कि आप अपने ऑफिस नहीं जा सकते।
राइट।
हाईकोर्ट ने ये कहा आप अपने ऑफिस नहीं जा सकते। केजरीवाल जी के जमानत के पूरे ऑर्डर को पढ़ना होगा। इसलिए बीजेपी का केवल कहना नहीं है।
What do you have to say? What do you have to say about the Aam Aadmi Party's charge that this is a diversionary tactic? Because they are saying that this case is on flimsy grounds. The complaint doesn't even name any other bureaucrat apart from 2 ministers. This is just to divert attention from their whole campaign about Prime Minister's degree controversy.
Is this degree controversy newly created by them? They have been asking, they have been taking bails in the Gujarat University case also. So this is all a flimsy ground. Why shouldn't I say this? This degree controversy was created, because they knew that the big and firm hands of laws is approaching to hold them from neck.
Okay.
Why can't this is also a case? They always start shouting a few days before when the inquiry and the other things starts quickly. When they come to know, they are the people who always say, now Satyendra Jain will be arrested. Kejriwal ji used to say, now Manish Sisodia will be arrested. How do they come to know? They come to know because they know the law is slowly and firmly reaching towards their neck.
Okay,
so,
sir, in conclusion, let me ask you this as my last question, because you are a minister in the government of Delhi at this moment. You understand your functions, the procedures of how ministries work, how funds are allocated much better than most people in this country would. For any kind of allocation, the money which has been allocated, or when the funding goes up, can a minister be held responsible alone? Don't you think that there are other people in the loop as well, including the various bureaucrats? And hence, in this case, naming only 2 ministers without naming anybody else who was working in the ministries at that point of time goes with what the Aam Aadmi Party is, alleging, that this is just to trouble the Aam Aadmi Party leaders.
If Aam Aadmi Party thinks there were some bureaucrats also involved, they should name them. But I would like to reserve my comments on the present case because the agencies are looking into the matter. But if Aam Aadmi Party says you are not targeting the bureaucrats, that means they had forced some bureaucrats to do certain things which were irregular. Why are they hiding their names? If Aam Aadmi Party's former chief minister and the former ministers have some name, they should come out with the names.
Right. Mr. Ashish Sood, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NDTV on this very important story at this moment, rocking the power corridors of the national capital. Let me very quickly now turn our attention. You heard one side, the BJP and of course the Delhi government side. Now let me go across to former Chief Minister of Delhi and leader of opposition in the current Vidhan Sabha. Atishi is joining us, senior leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. Atishi, thank you for speaking to us. I just had Minister Ashish Sood and I spoke to him about this case on Saurabh Bhardwaj. I tried to ask him about how this case precedes his tenure and how is he responsible, to which he said the matter is sub judice. Let me ask you this, Atishi. If the investigation is on, why cry foul about an investigation? You were always proponents of, if there is a doubt, let the investigation be, done into any kind of allegation. Why is the Aam Aadmi Party crying foul at this moment?
Ankit, this probably has to be one of the most unique investigations in the history of all agencies in the country. Let alone the fact that ED has a remarkably low conviction record, let alone the fact that ED files cases only against opposition leaders. I'm not even going into that. But for the first time in the history of any agency, you are investigating a minister for a matter that happened before his tenure. So now what are they going to do next? Are they going to investigate Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah for the 2G scam that happened in the Congress tenure? Are they going to investigate them for the coal scam that happened in the Congress tenure? Is Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta going to be investigated for the CNG fitness scam and the Commonwealth Games scam that happened a decade before she came into power? This is absolutely bizarre, Ankit. I don't think if you were to pick up the history of any investigating agency in this country, you would ever find the case where someone is being investigated on a matter before their tenure even started.
By that logic, Atishi, then are you saying that Mr. Satyendra Jain should be investigated, and if that happens, then the Enforcement Directorate should not question, then it won't be politically motivated? Atishi, can you hear me?
Sound has...
Okay, I think we have, we'll just try and fix that line with Atishi on this story. Very important what is happening, two sides of both the story. And that is exactly what we endeavor here on NDTV to get you, ask sharp questions, get you both sides for you to make your own view about what is going on. Remember, this is an important case, and like Atishi was pointing out, it happened, at least the complaint that was made was due for the tenure in 2018-19, and which at that point of time, Satyendra Jain was the health minister of Delhi. And both Saurabh Bhardwaj and Satyendra Jain have been named in this case. Saurabh Bhardwaj took over the government in the second term, or rather the third term of the Aam Aadmi Party in 2023. This case, the allegation is of the hospitals which started their construction in 2018 and 19, and then of course they have missed multiple timelines. Only two people have been named in the FIR, the former Health Minister Satyendra Jain and the former Health Minister Saurabh Bhardwaj. Raids are being conducted as far as Saurabh Bhardwaj is concerned in this case. What we'll do, we'll take a very quick break at this moment and we'll try and reconnect with Atishi after a short break. So stay tuned with us. We are coming back with much more. All right, I've just been told Atishi is back with us. Atishi, I hope you can hear me now. What I was asking you earlier, because you said that, it's an absurd case that somebody who was not even a minister at that point of time is being asked questions of a cabinet and the minister of a different tenure. Let me ask you then this. If tomorrow in the same case, Mr. Satyendra Jain is raided or questioned by the Enforcement Directorate, will that mean that the Enforcement Directorate is not politically motivated? They are asking the right questions to the right minister?
First of all, Ankit, in this specific case, whatever be the right or the wrong of this case, whatever be the political motivation behind this case, the fact of the matter is that Saurabh Bhardwaj was not minister. And yes, you're right, Satyendra Jain was minister. So even for a prejudiced case, even for a politically motivated case, it is just sheer logic and rationality that you will first question whoever was the minister in charge, number one. Number two, let us look at the track record of the Enforcement Directorate. Satyendra Jain was in jail for 2 years, right? Again an Enforcement Directorate matter, again a matter in which trial was still ongoing, a matter in which no conviction happened. And now what are we are seeing? We are seeing that ED had to file a closure report. So what does this mean? It means that ED and other agencies of the government of India are being used to file politically motivated cases. And now you link this with the fact, with the bill that is being brought into the parliament, that if for 6 months you are in jail, then you can be removed from position of minister or chief minister. So on the one hand, you can put people in jail without any evidence, under a law that does not give you bail, and on the other hand, then you will go and say, जी 6 महीने जेल में हो गए, अब तो इनको CM की पोस्ट से हटाना होगा, अब तो इनको मंत्री की पोस्ट से हटाना होगा.
The other way to look at it is that agencies, there was an FIR registered, there were questions asked, the agency investigated and later found that there was nothing that they could find against the ministers, and hence the agencies are doing a fair job, aren't they? They have given a closure report, a clean sheet as far as the minister is concerned.
Ankit, I think we should also see that, let us look at in the last 10 years, since 2014, since BJP has come into power, let us look at the number of cases that have gotten registered by the Enforcement Directorate. And let us make a tally as to how many cases are against opposition leaders and how many cases are against leaders who are part of the ruling party across the country. I think a simple statistic like this will make it very clear what the ED is being used for. In this case, however, it's very clear that this raid is basically a distraction tactic. It's a distraction tactic because yesterday, the whole country, the only thing that people were talking about was the Prime Minister's degree. And why is it that a university would not be proud to claim that the Prime Minister of the country, one of the tallest leaders of the world, as per the BJP, was an alumni of our university?
But Atishi, the High Court has given an order on that. The High Court has said that is a sacred relationship between the university and the student. It can't be made a public document. Why, if the High Court is also agreeing with that fact, why is the Aam Aadmi Party making an issue out of that?
But Ankit, does this not surprise you that when Rekha Gupta becomes the Chief Minister of Delhi, Delhi University comes forward with great pride and says, we are proud of the fact that an alumni of our university has become the Chief Minister of Delhi. They call her, they felicitate her. They are very proud of the fact that their student has become Chief Minister of Delhi.
Okay.
Then why is it that if their alumnus has become the Prime Minister of the country, why do they want to hide the fact? Why don't they want to put that degree across billboards across the city and the country and say that we are proud of the fact that the Prime Minister has studied in our university? Does this not surprise you?
Okay, we'll leave it there. You are saying it's a diversionary tactic. On the other hand, the BJP says this is just the procedure, the process which is taking place at this moment. If Aam Aadmi Party has nothing to hide, the courts will in fact give them that clean sheet. We'll leave it there at this moment. Atishi, thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to NDTV. All right, with that, we are slipping into a very short break. You heard both the sides here on NDTV, a current minister and the former chief minister speaking on this explosive case. We are coming back with much more on the other side. Stay tuned. Three die in Jammu and Kashmir flash floods. Cloudburst triggers flash floods in Doda. Weather department warns of more cloudbursts. 2 warships inducted to the Indian Navy. Indian Navy welcomes 2 stealth ships as well. INS Udaygiri and INS Himgiri inducted to the Navy. Husband murders wife in forest. Husband sets wife body on fire. Police says it was a premeditated murder. purification ritual at the Guruvayur temple. Outrage after influencer filmed reels. Influencer entered the sacred pond in the temple.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India, it matters to India, and it matters to me, and it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru. Only on NDTV 24/7.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
Mohit, you are known for your music. All your films, musics stay with us till today. I'm a millennial and those music are kind of music. So whenever we say Mohit Suri film aa raha hai, we know the music will be good, right? It's a given. So you really work hard. But is this always like how you create your music? You need everything in place, the mood, the lighting, even when the person is in the studio and just singing. And also, how did you select your musicians that this person's voice is perfect for this song?
That's what I think, the amount you give to a song, that's how long it will last, I think. Everyone does the programming, everyone writes the words, everyone makes the thing. But the thing is how much you give, how much of heart you give to the lyrics or to the music or to the melody or to the singing. That's how long the song will last, is what I genuinely feel. If you don't give that love, you're not going to get it back. It's just a simple debit and credit procedure, I think, with the audience. I genuinely feel I don't have any special skill. I don't know any scale or anything else. It's just that I enjoy that process a lot. Give me an evening to just go for a film party or something, I'll skip it. But you give me like a struggling musician to go who has a great tune, some new guys, chill all night with them. I can do that. I can just sit there, make music and stuff like that. We just did that recently. Fahim came down. He just surprised us, and we met in my Bandra office, and Han was there, Aneet was there, and he made me hear his other songs and stuff like that. But it was it's so much fun, because I just think making music, film, you still get to see something. Yeah. I think music is so amazing. You just
don't need to see anything.
It's in the air, and suddenly it just comes together, and it's just, you can just feel it. And something you hear makes you feel something. It's just magical.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Now the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves and Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
India's defence game is no longer evolving, it's transforming. The NDTV Defence Summit 2025 brings together the sharpest minds one day. Big conversations, bold ideas. The mission is clear. Stay ready. Stay ahead. Leading from the front, the Honorable Defence Minister, Rajnath Singh. The NDTV Defence Summit 2025. Warfare in the 21st century.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years. Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power, what is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Welcome back. Nikki Bhati has become a household name. People are talking about the traumatic death that this young woman had to face at the hands of her in-laws, her own husband, in her matrimonial house in Noida, allegedly over dowry demands. The entire family has been arrested. The in-laws have been arrested. The husband has been arrested. And there have been, this dowry, the murder by dowry has opened a massive discussion, debate about this very, very evil practice. And this has also opened a window into the past of Nikki's husband, the main accused, Vipin Bhati. Vipin Bhati has a very violent past. And I will show you 2 videos that tells you how this man, Nikki, was not the only woman who had to face the ire, the violent streak, exploitation at the hands of Vipin Bhati. Let me show you these 2 visuals at this moment. One is 2024, where Vipin is caught beating up another woman who is allegedly somebody he was having a relationship with while being married to Nikki, having a child at that point of time as well. In 2024, he was caught by bystanders, roughed up because he was beating up a woman. And what happens? This is a streak, and people knew about it. His family knew about it. What happened then? 2025, he beats up his wife, and the allegation is he sets her on fire and kills her. This is 2025. Vipin mercilessly pulling Nikki's hair, beating her up. I want to show you the 2024 video once again. This is the latest in the long list of the violent crimes that Vipin has been accused of. He's a serial abuser. He was booked for an assault case after a woman complained that she was beaten up. That woman who is in that car, and we are not in fact putting out her face at this moment due to her privacy, but this man was caught in public beating up this girl, and then people had to save her. A case was registered against this man. And then this brings us to the question, didn't the family of Nikki know about his violent past? And if they did, then what guarantees were given to them that the daughter was sent back to this abuser? Let me very quickly at this moment go across to Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, who is uncle of the deceased Nikki. He's joining us at this moment. संजीव जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए. आज एक नया वीडियो सर सामने आया है जिसमें विपिन जो निकी के हस्बैंड हैं वो एक और महिला को मारते पीटते दिखाई पड़ रहे हैं. मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं, क्या परिवार को पता नहीं था ये आदमी सिर्फ निकी को ही नहीं बल्कि और लोगों को भी, और महिलाओं के साथ इसका संबंध है, उनको मारता है?
ये जब जानकारी हुई थी अभी पीछे जनवरी फरवरी में, तो जब पता चला कि भाई मारने का जो घर में कलेश जो हो रहा है, मारपीट हो रही है, उसका जो कारण है उसका यही था कि ये किसी दूसरी लड़की के साथ में इसका अफेयर था, और जिसका थाना जारचा जो हमारा गौतम बुद्ध नगर में पड़ता है उसमें इसके खिलाफ रिपोर्ट भी दर्ज हुई है।
तो आप लोगों को पता था कि ये किसी और महिला के साथ इसके संबंध हैं और इसी कारण से ये निकी को भी मारता है, क्योंकि इसका जो वीडियो है उसमें उस महिला को भी मार रहा है और उसके बाद ये निकी को भी मारता नजर आ रहा है?
जी बिल्कुल।
तो सर, इस तरह के व्यक्ति के पास फिर वापस क्यों निकी को भेजा गया? अगर आप लोगों को जनवरी फरवरी में पता चल गया था तो वो वापस क्यों इस व्यक्ति के साथ रह रही थी?
जनवरी फरवरी में ही हमने दोनों बिटियाओं को बुला लिया था अपने यहाँ, और ये भी निर्णय ले लिया था कि भाई अब हम इनको वहाँ नहीं भेजेंगे, ये जैसे करें वैसे करें। लेकिन कुछ समाज के लोग उधर से इकट्ठे हुए और रिश्तेदार उन लोगों के इकट्ठे हुए जो जॉइंटली होते हैं कुछ रिश्तेदार, वो लोग आए और अप्रैल में 2-3 बार की पंचायत करने के बाद में ये हुआ, माफ़ीनामा हुआ, और विपिन ने भी माफ़ी मांगी थी पंचायत में कि भाई मैं आगे से ऐसी गलती नहीं करूँगा। लेकिन वो अपनी आदत से बाज नहीं आया और उन्होंने बहुत ही एक जघन्य घटना को अंजाम दे दिया।
मैं आपसे ये भी जानना चाहता हूँ, अप्रैल में आपने कहा कि पंचायत होने के बाद आपकी बच्चियाँ वापस गई थी अपने ससुराल, तो क्या अप्रैल से अगस्त तक उन्होंने कभी कोई कंप्लेन नहीं करी? इन्होंने कोई बदतमीजी नहीं करी उनके साथ?
नहीं, कंप्लेंट हुई थी, बदतमीजी हुई थी अभी जन्माष्टमी से पहले रोज़, और उसमें हमारे जो भाई हैं भिकारी सिंह वो गए थे 4-5 लोगों को लेके वहाँ, और उनसे कह के आए हैं। तो जो उनके ससुर हैं उन्होंने कहा कि भाई मुझे तो इस ऐसी जानकारी नहीं है, और फिर 4-6 लोग बुलवाए और बोला भी हम इसको समझाएंगे बुझाएंगे कहेंगे इनसे। तो इन्होंने कहा था कि भाई लड़कियों को भेज दो। जी नहीं, अब आप रक्षाबंधन इस पे त्यौहार से पीछे ले जाना इनको।
सर, अब आप लोगों को पछतावा होता है कि लड़कियों को भेजना नहीं चाहिए था किसी के कहने के बावजूद भी? आज भी घटना घट गई।
बहुत ज़बरदस्त पछतावा हुआ है। ये हमारी बिल्कुल ये हमारी भूल है। अगर हम उसी टाइम ये निर्णय ले लेते तो शायद आज निक्की हमारे बीच में होती।
मैं एक सवाल आपसे और पूछना चाहूँगा, निक्की की आयु कितनी है सर? 26 वर्ष बताई जा रही है निक्की की आयु।
हाँ, लगभग 27 साल ही है।
तो एक सवाल ये भी उठ रहा है कि क्या 2016 में जब इनकी शादी हुई, दोनों लड़कियों को एक साथ इनकी शादी हुई, तो क्या निक्की उस समय बालिग थी? क्या वो 18 साल की थी या नहीं? क्योंकि एक बड़ा सवाल उठकर इस समय सामने खड़ा हुआ है।
18 साल थी, हो सकता है 1-2 महीने कम हो, वो अलग बात है, लेकिन कागज के हिसाब से वो 18 साल थी।
सर, इतनी कम उम्र में शादी करी और उसके बाद उसको इतनी सारी यातनाएं इतने साल तक झेलनी पड़ी, आपको नहीं लगता कि शायद परिवार को भी अब इस बात को समझना पड़ेगा कि किस तरीके से कैसे लोगों के बीच में
कहीं हमसे भूल हुई है? बिल्कुल इस तरीके से हमसे भूल हुई है।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
होनहार बच्ची को हमने खो दिया है
जी।
ये हमारी, हाँ जी,
संजीव,
एक होनहार बच्ची को हमने खो दिया है जिसने DPS जैसे।
जी, अपनी बात पूरी करिए सर।
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ जी, हमने एक होनहार बच्ची को खो दिया है जो DPS जैसे स्कूल में पढ़ के बड़ी हुई, और जिन्होंने अपने पैरों पे खड़े होकर इतनी यातनाएं झेलते हुए भी अपने पैरों पे खड़े होने की कोशिश की, लेकिन इन दरिंदों ने उस बच्ची को हमसे छीन लिया।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर हमसे बात करने के लिए। संजीव जी was just telling us about how they got to know about this today. They are feeling this guilt that their daughters should not have been sent back. उनको वापस नहीं भेजना चाहिए था, and that's the big question. Your daughters are not a burden on you to be just, gotten married together, possibly because it saves some money, possibly because you think that, once you get them married, your responsibility is over. If your son can be with you, so can your daughters, and especially the girls. These daughters were on their own feet. And today, barring guilt, nothing is left as far as Nikki and her family is concerned. All right, let's shift quickly, shift into a very small break at this moment. I'll be back and I'll get you the devastation that Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal is facing at the hands of the flash floods due to the cloud burst which is taking place there.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Pre-die in Jammu and Kashmir, flash floods, cloudburst triggers, flash floods in Doda. Two warships inducted in Indian Navy, INS Udaygiri and INS Himgiri inducted to the Navy. Purification ritual at the Guruvayur temple after outrage over influencer filming reels inside the temple. Dharamsala controversy rages, Congress versus Congress fire in Karnataka. Minister Jarkioli demands NIA probe.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा.
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसा हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है. मैडम एक बार वो खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire Dabba trading scam.
NDTV 24/7 is India's #1 English news channel on YouTube. Credible, compelling, always ahead of the curve. Thank you for choosing NDTV 24/7 as your trusted source for news.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru, only on NDTV 24/7. Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
News coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where a landslide has in fact occurred at the Vaishno Devi Yatra route. Very unfortunate news coming in. 5 people apparently have been killed in this landslide which took place at the Vaishno Devi Yatra route. 14 people have been injured. The rescue operations are underway at this moment. I'm going across to my colleague Nazir Masoodi for more details on this. Nazir, this is one of the most visited Hindu shrines across the country. Tragedy striking there as well.
Yeah, exactly. One of the most, revered religious sites, Mata Vaishno Devi, and the track was hit by massive landslides. At least 5 pilgrims have been killed. More than a dozen have been injured. A rescue operation has been launched. There's really very, very grim situation across Jammu region. As the heavy rains for last 2 days has battered the area, there's flood-like situation in the entire region. There are cloud bursts also in Doda also. 4 people died, several injured, many houses damaged in Jammu city. Water has entered several neighborhoods. Many people have actually left their homes for safety. Bridges have been damaged. Main bridge, Tavi bridge, has been closed for the traffic because water which is flowing several feet above from Tavi river, several feet above the danger mark, and the evacuation mark has even hit that bridge. Lot of roads and the bridges have been damaged. 18 trains have been cancelled. Even the flights could not take off from Srinagar to Jammu or Jammu to Srinagar. I was at Srinagar airport trying to reach Jammu to report the situation from Jammu, but could not do that. Then we got the message that the flight has been cancelled because of airport restrictions at Sirp. And the worst thing is the mobile and internet services are badly hit. Barely any mobile service is working here in Srinagar or in the valley. So that is creating a lot of confusion and the chaos fear among the people. We don't know reasons, but many say optical fiber may have been impacted at several places because of the landslides and flash floods.
And not being able to communicate or get in touch with your loved ones adds another layer of tension, paranoia as far as people are concerned. It's a very, very grim situation as Nazir is reporting at this moment. In fact, the weather department has also said that next 24 hours are going to be, very, very problematic as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. Let's just very quickly give you a sense of what Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh is dealing with at this moment. All the cliches, the monsoon mayhem, misery, everything is raining and raining hard in the hill states. Some of these pictures are absolutely terrifying and worrying. The Tavi river in Jammu has swelled up, as Nazir was telling us, after the cloudburst that took place in Jammu and Kashmir's Doda district, which has triggered flash floods in the region. Continuous rainfall across the district has also triggered landslides, leading to the closure of several key roads and stretches on the highway. After all the river streams are following above the danger mark, the situation remains grim. Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has said the situation in many parts of Jammu province is quite serious, and he'll be taking stock of the situation by trying to reach Jammu as soon as possible. Our hearts and minds with the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Prayers that the situation doesn't worsen up from here. That's all the time that we have in this edition of Nationwide at 6. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. Thank you so much.
First, when it when Sayyara released, and we as audience realized, oh my God, what is happening? You know, when did you realize it? Like, it's like, I didn't expect this, what is happening? Like that wave that hits you.
You know, the first thing that really hit me, I'm telling you, was a month back actually, to be honest, is when Adisa saw the film. And he saw a very loose cut and he decided the release date. But he was always, like me and Akshay were so into making the film, I think, along with Sumanna and all. Sometimes when you're so into it and you know, you don't realize, you don't see it from, and then he saw it from a third person perspective. I mean, he was always super confident about the film. And he had actually had this talk with me about how I've done. And yeah, we all grew up. I was in the 8th grade when I saw Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and said I want to make a love story like this. For a person like him to say that, you know, you've made a great film. All he had asked for me was to make your best film for me. And I did, and I'm just glad that, so that was the first thing, you know, and that validation was great. I wasn't shouting over the roof for it. It gives you a lot of confidence at that moment, you know, for the person who's actually put his money where it is, and he wasn't talking about anything else, but on a very unassembled film at that time, could feel the emotion and be listening. But it was the first time we felt that we made something special. But yes, once the numbers came in, I think then it was Akshay.
The advance.
Yeah, and the advances came in, and then people were sending me messages, and all they said, no, don't listen to anyone. So I at one point just put my phone off and said, you know, this is getting too out of hand. And then in the night we got the number.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Well, the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves and Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edappadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out.
Gold Plus Clear Glass. Far ho ya near, sab kuch dikhe clear.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
India's defense game is no longer evolving, it's transforming. The NDTV Defense Summit 2025 brings together the sharpest minds. One day, big conversations, bold ideas. The mission is clear. Stay ready, stay ahead. Leading from the front, the Honorable Defense Minister, Rajnath Singh. The NDTV Defense Summit 2025, warfare in the 21st century.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years.
Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power,
what is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
Hello and welcome to the Southern View. I'm Veera Raghav. The top national and southern focus up ahead over the next 60 minutes with Vasudha and me. Namaskaram, Namaskara, Baulara and Nalla Irkingla Vasudha.
Welcome Veera and namaskar to all our viewers. Big statements coming in from the RSS Sarsang Chalak Mohan Bhagwat in New Delhi as the Sangh is all set to celebrate its 100 years. A special focus up ahead on the big message that he has delivered.
Well, that's right. We'll also focus on the big drug bust in Telangana and the controversy caused by reel-making social media influencer at the Guruvayur temple. But first, the headlines we're tracking this hour. Jammu and Kashmir holds an emergency meeting as massive flash floods from the Doda district leave rivers and streams in space. The Jammu region, Jammu Srinagar, affected. Floods affect Pakistan as well. And the Met Department makes very heavy rainfall over the next 24 hours.
A historic moment for the Indian Navy as 2 warships in the INS Udaygiri and INS Himagiri are inducted to the Indian Navy.
On the Dharmasthala controversy, Public Works Minister of Karnataka Satish Jarkioli demands an NIA probe, even as the state's Home Minister had firmly declared that the SIT was competent enough for the case.
Well, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat has kick-started a 3-day lecture series in New Delhi as part of the organization's centenary outreach program. Being held at Vigyan Bhavan, this event drew about 1,300 attendees from diverse backgrounds, including judges, politicians, bureaucrats, media figures, and also diplomats. Mohan Bhagwat used the platform to reflect this 100-year journey and articulate its vision for India's future, emphasizing on the role of its founder KB Hedgewar that he played in the freedom movement. He also talked about how the RSS is not a reactionary force. He in fact quoted MS Golwalkar, a former Sarsang Chalak, and he said even if there are no Hindus and Christians, the RSS will continue to thrive because it is after all what he is. He also said that the RSS will continue working and RSS will continue working for its Swayam Sevaks.
Well, contentious ideological positions, the equations of the past as important as the realities politically of the present. Vasudha, several political, ideological issues and questions that will have to be raised and addressed and considered perhaps over the next 2 days as far as the Sangh is concerned, obviously from the practical economic thought in the context of tariffs also could become a potential point of discussion. But before we get to the guests and discuss the events there in Delhi, Vasudha, give us a sense of the political importance in terms of the road ahead and how the BJP is viewing all of this.
Well, Veera, that's a great question. In fact, Mohan Bhagwat used this very important line. He said, "Na kahu se bair, na kahu se dosti." The RSS does not have friendship or rivalry with anybody. In fact, he made it very clear that people who are opposed to the RSS are also friends with the RSS now. And he said that they have never been, we never considered them opponents. And that's what he said. And this is coming at an interesting time because we know that the tariff threat is on. Mohan Bhagwat has been a proponent of Swadeshi, and those messages are also going to come from him tomorrow. But today is, of course, the larger picture of the Sangh, its objectives. And I remember attending a similar lecture series in 2018 where he outlined what the organization is looking forward to in the next 10 years and what it has done in the last several years. So clearly 10 decades of the RSS in existence and the chief of the RSS today outlining what its vision could look like, even as the BJP is all set to finish 11 years. In fact, it's finished 11 years. We will be joined by a panel of guests, but first let's look at the key takeaway from what Mr. Bhagwat said today.
और ये राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ क्यों शुरू हुआ, इतनी सारी बाधाएं वगैरह आई, स्वयंसेवकों ने सारी कठिन परिस्थितियों में से रास्ता निकालकर इसको चलते क्यों रखा, और 100 साल चलने के बाद भी नए क्षितिजों की बात क्यों कर रहा है, इसका अगर एक वाक्य में आपको उत्तर देना है तो वो वाक्य संघ की प्रार्थना के अंत में हम स्वयंसेवक लोग रोज कहते हैं, भारत माता की जय। स्वामी विवेकानंद का वो कथन कि एवरी नेशन हैज ए मिशन टू फुलफिल, वैसे भारत का भी अपना एक योगदान है। संघ के निर्मिति का प्रयोजन भारत है, संघ के चलने का प्रयोजन भारत है, और संघ की सार्थकता भारत के विश्व गुरु बनने में है। क्योंकि भारत का एक योगदान दुनिया में हो, योगदान उसको देना है, उसका समय आ गया है। लेकिन जब संघ शुरू हुआ तब ये परिस्थिति थी कि ऐसे सब लोग अपने आप को हिंदू नहीं कहते थे, और आज भी नहीं कहते कुछ लोग। तो हिंदू के हम प्रकार मानते हैं, जो जानते हैं वो हिंदू है, उनको गौरव है। जो जानते हैं वो हिंदू है, लेकिन गौरव क्या करना भाई, दुनिया में होते हैं, हम हिंदू है, चलो। और जो जानते हैं लेकिन किसी कारण नहीं कहते, मैं कारणों में नहीं जाता, नहीं कहते, और जो जानते नहीं है कि वो हिंदू है। लेकिन ऐसे लोगों को भी जो जानते नहीं है, हिंदवी कहने से बुरा नहीं लगता, भारतीय कहने से बुरा नहीं लगता। सनातन का भी कुछ लोग स्वीकार करते हैं। ये शब्द क्या है? समानार्थी शब्द है, और इसलिए हम लोग ऐसा नहीं कहते कि आप हिंदू ही कहो, आप हिंदू हो, कि हम बताते हैं नहीं भाई हम हिंदवी है, हम भारतीय है, ठीक है। इसका कंटेंट समझो। इन शब्दों के पीछे केवल शब्दार्थ नहीं है, एक कंटेंट है। वो कंटेंट जियोग्राफिकल नहीं है, उस कंटेंट में एक भक्ति है भारत माता की, उस कंटेंट में एक परंपरा है पूर्वजों की, जो हम सबकी समान है। डीएनए को भी देखो, वही है।
Well, joining us now to talk about all of this is author Ratan Sharda and political analyst Sanjay Jha. Thank you both of you for joining us on this broadcast. Ratan Sharda, to you first. Mohan Bhagwat talking about this sentence that I see a lot of people use, that we are Bharatiya and not really Hindu. He's saying that Bharatiya also has a context to it because it's a civilization word, and that it also shows divinity and commitment to the motherland. How do you look at Mohan Bhagwat's larger speech, specifically his talking about what a Hindu identity is and how it is actually very similar to being a Bharatiya?
Well, Vasudha, for me, it was a revision of my 60 years of life in RSS and all the experience, all the writings I have done. So it is kind of a revision for me of what RSS stands for. And for me also revision that how the word Hindu is defined, how Hindutva is defined, and how Bharat and Hindu are are the same words. Because if you remember, Bharat is the word given to Bharat in Mahabharat, while Hindu is the word which came since the time of earlier, but it was not recognized, or it was not thrust upon us till recently. But since it was thrust upon us some 1,000 years back, we have accepted it, because all the good and the bad that comes with it has been in the name of Hindu. So we have to stand by it and to prove that it's a word which is all inclusive and which stands for the country with all the good qualities that we have, all the sense of nationhood, all the sense of inclusive society, all the humanitarian principles that we have adopted as a Hindu society and which we want to propagate.
Right. So when you say that, Sanjay Jha, there is also the present day political reality, the unacceptability, at least ideologically, of the RSS to a large section of the opposition. Is it time for both sides to revisit that unacceptability, or do you believe that it's only going to get stronger given the polarized political atmosphere?
Viru and Vasudha, good evening, and to my friend Mr. Sharda as well. You know, the truth is that a leopard does not really change its spots. I mean, Mr. Bhagwat has used the word DNA, and you got to look at the inherent character of the RSS. Mr. Sharda and I have very acrimonious face-offs on many a TV show, and I will repeat what he is aware is my clear position based on historical facts, no rhetoric, no hyperbole. The truth is that the father of the nation, we talk about RSS, let's talk about the father of the nation. Gandhi ji is considered to be the father of the nation. He gave his life up for his country. He inspired the entire freedom struggle, starting from Champaran in 1917. Did the RSS distribute sweets after Gandhiji's assassination? Absolutely yes. It's a fact, it's recorded. Sardar Patel banned the RSS for a reason. We can go on and on about why he lifted the ban later on, etc. But the truth is that the RSS never believed in the idea of the constitution of a country. I mean, Mr. Sharda will dodge the question, but it's something that your viewers should know, that the RSS refused to recognize India's tricolors, the national flag, till 2002, where they were, by the way, forced to, because some people came and forcibly put up the flag at Nagpur, and thereafter it became a practice. So, at core, even if you listen to the recent speeches, Viru and Vasudha, where you had this gentleman from the RSS who said, why are we even having words like secularism and socialism in the Indian constitution? That needs to be debated, right? So basically, the RSS is challenging the very core, cardinal, foundational principles of India's constitution. Now, I'm a Hindu, but I can tell you for a fact, I believe the beauty of our country is this absolutely phenomenal diversity. You leave it to the RSS, they want to make it into a Hindu Rashtra.
Okay, Mr. Sharda, some important points that Mr. Jha has made, but let me tell you my observations. Minutes after Mr. Mohan Bhagwat started his speech, he made a mention of Mahatma Gandhi. He talked about the Charkha. He talked about the Indian freedom movement. Indian National Congress came within just 2 minutes of his speech. I do feel that the RSS chief is trying to make it very clear that there are no enemies here, there are no friends here, and that the Sangh is just doing its own job. But do you think that this is an evolutionary transition, or do you think that this is a strategic review of its position?
Well, first of all, I must respond to Sanjay Jha. He has very regular practice of throwing jibes at Sangh without any base or any truth in it. For example, Sangh never distributed sweets. This is recorded by the CID's report, which was used in the court also. It is there on the record. So Sanjay can smirk or whatever want to do, but Sangh didn't distribute sweets. Guruji made the strongest possible criticism and a very attacking letter against the assassination of Gandhiji, which was noted, and it was the only time when RSS was shut down for 13 days, even before any activity began from the Congress side of vendetta over the people. At that time, he had already declared it. He sent out letters to each and every person, and he was totally shocked. And then he says ban. Ban was on a fictitious ground when after 1 month CID report said RSS had no hand in it. When the court said it, when the police said it, then on what ground was the ban imposed? It is political, definitely. It's a political run. And when it was removed, there was nothing else but asked for a very spurious thing like a written constitution. Even Congress didn't have a written constitution for 14 years. Then he talks about opposition to constitution. If you read the constitution debate at that time, many people, including very respected Congress leaders, who have criticized constitution as not having Indian base, not having a reference to Indian scriptures, but only about Western constitutions. It is recorded in the debates. I can pick out the book and read some sentence for Mr. Jha if he wants to get educated. And tricolor, people died for tricolor in Goa. People died for tricolor in Kashmir. People died for the society during partition. So what do you mean by not respecting flag? I do not know. Even the acceptance of tricolor as the national flag was given in writing by Guruji during the ban time in the letter to the government. Now coming to the findings of this RSS manifesto, just a moment. What Mohan Bhagwat ji has said, RSS always said it. You can pick my book written 15 years back, I have said the same things. You pick up my book 10 years back, I have said the same thing, quoting from the leaders of RSS. To say that there is something new, Mohan ji has said, he has only reiterated what has already been said earlier on. You underline that we stand with everybody, and he has given the example of people who are opponents have joined RSS, have become members of RSS, not BJP, RSS, they're working for RSS. I know countless such people. That is why he said for us there is no enemy. Guruji used to say there are only two types of Hindus, one is in RSS, one is outside RSS, will join RSS tomorrow. So that's what it is.
Okay, let me get Sanjay Jha.
And also, just a moment.
But I wanted
just last 10 seconds.
I wanted to focus. I know there is an enormous history to this.
No,
and
no,
there
just
is a
a
huge,
second. I
and
will
it
come to
cannot
your
fit into a
debate.
television.
See,
Sorry, sir?
secular and socialism was denied by the constitution makers. It was put into constitution 1975-76. That ends the debate on it.
Okay.
Oh, let me get Sanjay Jha to respond to it, but I also want to bring it to the present day context of this larger political debate of Sangh versus
That's all I
Samvidhan.
want.
Sanjay, go ahead. We have very limited time, unfortunately, but go ahead. You have the last word on this.
Thank you, Viru. The truth is that Sharda Sahab, we have also read Golwalkar's bunch of thoughts, and his views on the Indian flag are on record. So let's not try and be dodgy here. Viru, let's get down to the current political context, right? I've been openly telling Sharda ji, why doesn't RSS actually usurp the BJP and become a political party? It was meant to be a cultural, social organization. It appoints India's prime minister. It comments on India's foreign and economic policies. I mean, you have reached a point today where Mr. Modi is the prime minister of this country. During the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, talked about bhais chori kar lega, Mangal Sutra utha lega. It was clearly religious polarization and a hate speech. Did the RSS condemn that? They did not, right? So here is Viru, the bottom line. We are all adults here. Let's not try and be pussyfooting around. The BJP will continue its communal polarization strategy. The RSS speaks in a folk tongue. They will occasionally try and sound very nationalistic, but that is only a garb, ostensibly to push their agenda of religious divide in this country, because it suits them from an electoral windfall and then to spread their highly vicious ideology in this country.
Quickly, Ratan Shada, respond to that, sir.
Well, for a person from Congress party, which is a continuous agenda of anti-Hindu thought and pro-Muslim bent, for them to say that anybody speaks for Hindu is communal, is hateful, I think that's very foolish and very comic for me. Because all their agenda continuously being spoken by this party for years together, especially since Rahul Gandhi's ascent to be the next prime minister in their own words, he has been using the worst kind of language for Hindus. He has been using a provocative language for the Muslims. So this is the difference, that we want everybody together. They want to divide society. So uniting Hindus is communal. Uniting vote banks is secular. That is the basic theory of Congress from 1947.
Right. So, no, we will leave this conversation. It's one that has played out for so many years. It is something that is expected to play out again, but perhaps not fit into a television debate at this moment. But thanks very much to both of you for making those points. But staying with the RSS and the politics around it, Vasudha, Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar today apologized to congressmen who had raised an objection to his singing of the RSS anthem on the floor of the State Assembly.
That's right, Veera. In fact, it was a light-hearted moment for the Deputy Chief Minister when he told his BJP colleagues that even he knew the RSS anthem, but that he's a die-hard congressman. But it has turned into a controversy with some Congress leaders questioning him and demanding an apology.
Well, it's perhaps a reflection, Vasudha, of both the bitter Karnataka political realities within the Congress and the larger ideological battle in the country. Listen in to D.K. Shivkumar.
I have been suffered in the jail without even a chair sitting to it. I know how I lost my knee on this issue. Within 10 by 10, within the bathroom, without anything, in the cell, I know how I suffered. Anyway, that is a past story. I'll tell it, that history someday in the assembly, so let all those things be on record. But if anyone want to know about my history, know about my commitment, know about my ideology, if they want to do politics within this, it is left to them. I don't want to comment. But if anyone has been hurt, some of my party colleagues are commenting on that. I don't like to be a congressman, and I have a lot of followers and friends across the party line in different political parties in the India group. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I would like, if anyone has been hurt, I feel sorry for them. I think I would like to seek apology to all of them, but not politically pressurize on this. None of my party high command or anyone has asked any question on this. I would not like to reply to any one of them.
From all that politics, now to an extraordinarily important social reality and issue, to a drug bust in Hyderabad that reveals yet again the availability of drugs on university campuses and even how it's delivered there through professional courier services and even India Post. This operation by the Telangana Police's anti-drug squad known as Eagle Vasudha ended up busting one of the biggest, or at least what's been called one of the biggest, university-linked drug rackets.
That's right, Veera. The operation was triggered by leads from the Malnadu restaurant case, where investigators traced courier parcels moving from Delhi and Karnataka to Hyderabad. The trail, in fact, led to two private university students who are making digital payments to a Nigerian national. Peddlers had reportedly sourced drugs like MDMA pills and even marijuana from Delhi, and they were getting it delivered through courier to Hyderabad.
Well, it's a concerning reality, multiple angles to it. We'll have a special focus on it. But first, let's listen in to this interview done by my colleague Uma Sudhir on this case.
With me, the SP, Rupesh Chenuri. What is the finding that you have? You are talking about a private university in Hyderabad where you have found a drug network.
We were investigating into this parcels of drugs which are coming through different courier companies like DTDC, Sri Maruti and all. So during our investigation, we caught two students who are belongs to one university in Hyderabad. So when we further interrogated them, so we came to know that two of their students are also indulging in peddling in the campus. So with that, we have busted that chain. So we caught almost 4 peddlers, which includes 2 students from the same university and 2 outsiders. And 50 suspected consumers are also there. We have to check their samples and confirm. By analyzing their phone chats and by analyzing their UPI payments and by analyzing their courier details, so we came to know about this 15 members are consuming. As of now, it's a preliminary investigation, so we don't know how much will it be more.
What kind of measures can be taken by institutions?
Yeah, this drug menace is a complex problem. Police alone cannot fight this thing. We need all the stakeholders also into this, like educational institutions, health department, and parents especially, and police department anyway will be there. So we want management of these institutions to have a stricter policy against drugs and mandatory checks, surprise checks, and create a kind of training for their security staff. And involve police also in creating these anti-drug committees.
Well, so it is a concerning reality, not just for parents, for university authorities, educationists. Joining me now is Uma Sudhir, who's been tracking that case very closely. We'll also be joined by Amod Kant, who's a former IPS officer who runs an NGO now in a bit from now. But Uma Sudhir, the real shocking aspect of this is the use of courier. It's perhaps known in the cartels, it's been known in the past, but the extent to which it was used, even India Post was used, is something that could have come as shocking to the authorities.
So that actually provided the initial clue for them to reach these university students and find out, because in an earlier case, what has been famous as the Malnadu restaurant case, they found a courier service was delivering a regular looking sandal, for instance, and inside the heel of the sandal was this drug that was hidden, and it was sent as a regular courier, and the person who was sending it knows about it, the person who is receiving it knows about it, but it looks totally a decoy, and therefore it was not being caught. And it is through those courier links that the police started looking at who are these networks and who are the people who are paying for them and are receiving them, and that's how they reached a couple of students of the university who were receiving these kind of couriers. And what they subsequently realized is that there's a huge network. These students had organized a network of not just interstate but also international, because they were getting some of that from secondary sources like Bidar or Goa. Some of the drugs were being supplied, and some others from Nigerian who was giving them synthetic drugs as well. And therefore the entire network seems to have been almost elevated to commercial operation, because there are peddlers, there are consumers, and there are suppliers, people who are acting as couriers. All of this network had been established, and it involves not just this one prestigious private university, but the police has named not just this university, but has named several others as well in the city, Symbiosis Institution, the CBIT, several other institutions, including IIIT. The private university itself is Mahindra University because the police has named it. We are also naming it. And they are talking about the fact that it's only because Telangana perhaps has had that focus that we are catching more, not because it's only existing here. Sorry.
Availability of drugs in campuses is really the core concern, isn't it, Vasudha?
Absolutely.
The larger issue of, I'm just going to take this, perhaps it's time to expand it, Vasudha, to beyond just this case,
absolutely,
into the reality of drugs in university campuses.
Yeah, as a parent, both Veera and I, and of course Uma, we this one thing that's coming to our mind is how do parents even know that this thing is happening? Because a food style delivery of drugs is something that I didn't think of.
Amod?
Let alone the
two
parents.
Things here. One, that...
yeah, Mr. Kant, you go first. We'll come to Uma.
No, I'm only saying with my experience of dealing with these kind of crimes and situations in Delhi and other places. Let me clarify that it appears shocking, really. It appears shocking, this particular incident and the area where they were operating and the kind of nexus that was created within the campus. It appears, whatever little news I have, that within the campus of a private university, in the surroundings and the syndicate as it operates, not only in the city, but internationally and nationally. So this is something, which is very important. I mean, the let's say the demand and the prevalence and the availability of drugs, let's say even the schools and colleges around that, it hasn't been such an unknown thing. It has been always there. And it is there. Even in Delhi, it's there. Metropolitan cities were there. But then here, it appears to be a much better and much more serious, well-organized operation. Here you have talked about the cannabis and you talk about marijuana. I think probably other drugs could also have been there. I mean, that refined variety they called OG is original gangster. That's the name of OG, I believe. And this appears to be something which is in demand elsewhere also. I mean, these drugs, the marijuana and cannabis, it's a very basic kind of drug which is available in the country all over. But they have to go beyond it. They must find out as to what all types of drugs, from where they were being procured here. And inside the campus, I'll hold a lot of people responsible. I mean, let's say the university campus, how got into the campus, how 50 youngsters...
I mean, a very important point, but Uma, what are authorities telling you about the scale of the problem? Because if it's one campus that's been raided and they've found something, it may not be restricted to just that campus. The concern is, how do we address this at a holistic national level?
I would point out, Veera, certainly that it is not restricted to this one private university alone, because the Telangana government has actually had a crackdown, Revanth Reddy government, whether it has done anything else or not. One thing I would give them credit for is to establish this kind of a mechanism for cracking on narcotic, not just peddlers, but also on the suppliers and the consumers as well. And they have named at least a dozen other institutions as well in the last 1 year where they have managed to do this kind of a crackdown. And unlike what Mr. Kant is saying, I would point out that I don't think Hyderabad or this particular private university is an exception. This is something that's happening everywhere, and they're talking about no dark web or dark net. They are talking about getting these supplies on WhatsApp. And that's something that we have found not just in this particular university, but elsewhere as well, that everything is now, the courier services that you have, the technology that you're using for other, positive purposes, all that is also being reflected in the supply of drugs. And it is, earlier if celebrities and IT professionals or students were notorious, now you have every category of people who are seeming to be involved and seeming to be using also courier services to get it. And yes, they have moved from that weed. The officer here would like to say that ganja is the gateway to health. So from that ganja to the other levels, going up to the synthetic drugs and more, is what we are already seeing in these colleges.
Absolutely. Amod Kant, as far as the investigation is concerned, how difficult has it become, especially with social media and other digital tools?
No, I think that investigation is not so difficult. And investigation actually is not only social media. I mean, it has become easier actually. Let me clarify that it all depends that how the police catches up with the criminal, how the police is able to utilize those kind of new techniques, the technology, whatever is there. I mean, I recall the times when the mobile was getting introduced or internet used to come in picture. I mean, I'm going back to those times. I mean, if mobile became a very easy way for the criminals, culprits to operate, it was actually easier for the police to catch. I mean, we are able to catch it through the study of the various communications going on. Here also again, the social media is not out of reach. And of course, as you demand, today only I saw in the newspaper that the social media requires some kind of regulation, etc. So whether it is social media or it is internet or it is the mobile, whatever is there, I mean, the police can really get into it, that is, scan the entire information.
There is multiple issues. I'm running completely out of time, Mr. Amod Kant. I'm sorry to interrupt you here. And thanks to both you, Uma, and you for joining us. It is an issue we'll keep focus on, but going across now to a bit of breaking news coming in on the controversy around noted Kannada writer and Booker Prize winner Banu Mushtaq for the Dashara celebrations in Mysore, to inaugurate the Dashara celebrations in Mysore. She has responded to the critics and said a handful of people, Vasudha, are twisting her words and creating an issue, and that there is no question of her love for Kannada. From some sections of BJP had raised some questions about her comments. She has categorically refuted any such, any of those kind of questions that have been raised around her.
That's right. Veera, BJP leaders such as D.Y. Vijayendra, Pratap Simha and also Basavan Goda Patil have come forward to criticize this invitation that has been given to Banu Mushtaq for inaugurating the Dashera festival in Mysuru, which attracts a lot of tourists from across the world. This celebrations are going to begin on the 22nd of September. Banu Mushtaq has said, and I quote, "What I want to say is this: first, love Kannada, use it as much as I do, and work to promote the language at an international level as I am doing. Only then do you earn the right to criticize me. If you cannot do that, please refrain from trying to paint a bad picture of me."
Let's listen to what Banu Mushtaq had said before we move forward.
Very few people, a handful of people, ಯಾರು ಇದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನಿಪುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಕನ್ನಡವನ್ನ ನನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸಿ, ಕನ್ನಡವನ್ನ ನನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಬಳಕೆಗೆ ತಂದು, ಕನ್ನಡವನ್ನ ನನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವರ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಇಡೀ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪುಟವನ್ನು ನಾನು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಾಯಿ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಸರಾಟ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಹತೆ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ಮಾತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ.
Well, that's a controversy. We'll keep a close watch. Remember, yesterday on the Southern View, Vasudha and I interviewed the Maharaja of Mysore, who backed the choice of Banu Mushtaq for the inauguration of the state event, Dashara. It's a controversy that was sparked off by some sections of the BJP. But of course, Banu Mushtaq sending out a very, very firm response to that.
That's right, Veera. It's a clash of narratives here, with the BJP saying that Dashera is integral to the Hindu faith, and the Congress party believing that anybody who contributes to the growth of Kannada is allowed to inaugurate the festival. With that, it's time for a short break. We'll see you on the other side. Jammu and Kashmir holds an emergency meet as massive flash floods from the Doda district leave rivers and streams in spades across the Jammu part of the state. In fact, Jammu-Srinagar highway affected. Floods affect Pakistan as well, and the Met department has predicted very heavy rainfall. A historic moment for Indian Navy as warships INS Udaygiri and INS Himgiri are inducted to the Indian Navy. On the Dharmasthala controversy, Public Works Minister and Congress leader Satish Jarkiholi demands an NIA probe, even as the State Home Minister has firmly declared that the SIT was competent enough to probe the case. Husband murders wife in forest. This is a horrific incident being reported from Hyderabad. The husband set the wife's body on fire.
presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी, तो मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियाँ आती हैं। तो जब ये रियलाइज़ हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया। कशी ताई, ऐसे बॉय मिलते मुंबई में? चांस ही नहीं।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो। प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
He is a soldier, you are a soldier, and this is war.
When the world rages, a soldier stands firm and focused on his mission. Just like Finesta Windows is engineered to keep out noise, dust and rain.
Switch to Finesta Windows. Don't forget to watch War 2 from 14th of August.
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा।
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसे हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है।
मैडम एक बार को खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire dabba trading scam.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years. Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power, what is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Welcome back now to the controversy at the famous Guruvayur Sri Krishna temple, which is now performing quote-unquote a purification ceremony over the next few days after a social media influencer and a Big Boss contestant, Jasmine Jaffer, dipped her feet in the sacred pond and made a viral social media reel. Vasudha.
That's right, Vida. The temple had filed a complaint against the influencer for violating temple traditions and court orders on photography being prohibited inside the temple premises. It's not the first time an influencer making a social media reel at places of worship has ended up sparking a controversy. Multiple questions in this case, but the reels has gone viral thanks to this controversy, and that seems to be the objective of social media influencers.
Well, that's right. There are also questions on whether religious places tend to overreact in the era of Instagram. Joining us this evening, author and one who follows Kerala's religious customs very, very closely, Rahul Ishwar, social media influencers Hajras Sethi and Kanisha Malhotra. My first question to you, Rahul Ishwar, as touchy as topic it can be, do religious places of worship need to be a little more accommodating of social media, real influencers, or perhaps other issues as far as religious context is concerned? And, are they overreacting?
Veer Raghavji, Vasudha ma'am, two submissions. One, every temple has its own unique customs and rituals. No, we can call them rules and regulations. We call them achara anushtanas. Under Article 25 and 26, fundamental rights of Indian Constitution, every temple has a right to do so. For example, in Shabarimala, inside Shabarimala Hindu temple, there is a mini Islamic shrine. That is the culture and custom of Shabarimala. But in Guruvayur, people from other faith are not allowed. In Attigal Pongala, millions of ladies only offer Pongala. No man is offering it. So temples have their own very unique, differentiated custom. We cannot see any kind of homogeneity in it. So this beautiful heterogeneity is a part of Hindu culture and our tradition. That's the reality of it. Second, Jasmine Jaffer, a very prominent influencer, has apologized. We all devotees welcome their apology. It's a good step forward. They have to be sensitive and responsible regarding these because it affects the devotees, devotion and sentiments of millions of people. But the goodness of Kerala is we amicably settled it. Nobody made it a Hindu-Muslim issue. Nobody made it a communal issue. Nobody even made communal remarks. We understand that a young girl, out of her overzealousness, may have shot a reel. But that is the thing. She issued an apology. The temple conducted purification ceremony. No devotee complained outside or no other issue was made. So we amicably settled it. And I would request all the influencers to be mindful of religious sensitivities and sensibilities, because the point is, see, there are millions of people involved. There will be all categories of people. Some may find Jasmine Jaffer from a Muslim.
Yes, I just want to ask you this one thing, that a lot of people are going away from religion also because of these rules and rigidity, and I know a lot of people are becoming more conservative, that there is that side as well. To make far more accommodating, shouldn't we actually be okay with this? I'm not okay with the influencers doing all this in temples, but is there a better way of telling them, instead of just looking for criminal action in this purification ceremony? That really undermining and a little bit of an overreaction, isn't it?
Vasudhaji, I partially concede that point. I strongly believe there should not be any criminal kind of an action. This was a young girl trying to get some reach and all. We respect that. See, we have been fighting even for people like Sri Yeshudas, a Christian singer, one of the greatest devotional singers, down south and India, to Guruvayur and other temples. See, there is an ultra-conservative section of any society. Let's be honest about it. I'm a conservative person, but there are ultra-conservative sections of society who have their own inhibitions and their own proclivities. We need to balance, synthesize, and harmonize a lot of people. So, we always have to take a position that is preservative of our tradition, culture, and sensibilities. So the only thing is just one line. We have to take care of our traditions. Otherwise, the believers will get agitated.
No, a fair point that you're making, Hajras Sethi. Given the context, is there too much focus on making reels everywhere and getting viral, hits? That seems to be the bigger problem. You want to make a reel out of anything, that will go viral.
I hope I'm audible. Hello?
Yeah, Hajras Sethi, that was for you. Lakshya. We'll come to Lakshya Narula in just a bit. But Hajras Sethi, is it all about, getting that content go viral? Okay, Kanishka Malhotra, yeah.
So, hi, first of all, thank you for having me. I genuinely believe that as a creator, we also have some responsibilities. So, I'm sure that there are so many people who want to get a lot of views. Like a couple of days back, I was just standing on the road and I saw this guy in the middle of road creating a reel. So I think there should be some boundaries. We need to have every sort of work you do, you need to have some boundaries. Like in offices, we have boundaries. So we need to, as a creator also, just because we don't have a 9 to 5, we cannot just say that let's not have boundaries. So I think it is very important to know what's right and what's wrong. You cannot just go into a temple and start creating reel. I think it's very, very important to understand the rules and regulations of a place and follow them. So like I think it's very important to have those rules in place first of all. So as a creator, I really feel that you have a responsibility of your own to not just take anything and everything and make it a content. Of course, you can make content where you want, but you cannot just go and make everything a content. There need to be like, you can't go to a funeral and make a content. And even in temple, you have
absolutely.
to
I mean, that I think, is a very balanced point. But, Lakshan Arula, a few days ago, Sikh groups also filed an FIR against an influencer who had gone to Golden Temple to do some yoga. And then we saw similar cases even with Augie, because Augie had gone to some temple town in Kashmir and he had posted a picture of some alcohol bottle. I mean, these cases just keep coming up, and we keep talking about criminalizing the youngsters of the country, which is very painful, because young people don't need to be, scared and, fearful of this kind of action. But at the same time, how do we tell them that this is enough and, something more than this would actually be crossing the maryada?
First of all, I think we have to, we have to witness the pain point here. What we are seeing is basically a dangerous obsession that the Gen Z has behind chasing likes and views, at the cost of values. What I have witnessed over the course of time nowadays, in this rush of digital validation, we could say, they have lost the plot of difference between insensitivity and creativity, right? There has to be a thin line. There is a thin line between creativity and insensitivity. And I think the recent case, this whole incident of what we are talking about, of the gurus, basically, or, the Sikh community, what they have done, I think the Gen Z is absolutely going behind instant gratification right now. And also, these platforms also, they reward these bold and shocking content. If you see a lot of engagement, the platform also pushes, not a lot of people talk about this, that the platform also is responsible somehow, because they push a lot of content like these, where there's a lot of instant gratification, where there's insensitivity. And I think we have to set a precedent for the influencers, for everyone, that there is a thin line between creativity and insensitivity. And I think it should not be acceptable at any cost. And I think what Rahul said, Rahul mentioned right, absolutely.
Lakshya and Kanisha, I have one very important question, and I want a very, very honest answer from you, Kanisha. This controversy for Jasmine has led to enormous amount of viral views for her Instagram or her social media post. Now, if you keep that as the objective of success, would she or most other people tend to do such things just because that will get them more viral posts?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest reasons somebody starts becoming a creator or an influencer is to get fame. So if anybody is getting that sort of fame, so that means that they've reached there. So the problem is with the society as well. We are giving those views to them. Instead, we should just, put a balance to that. We should not be promoting such posts. So anybody who is actually looking at it and promoting it or liking it.
Rahul, there's also one more thing that I...
because this will only make it more viral.
And all of us have watched that video, Veera, which is what I want to bring to Rahul Ishwar's notice. Rahul, your tweets go viral, but these videos also go viral. There's also the sense that, people keep comparing, would she have done this in a church? Would she have done this in a mosque? Why do we get into this comparison thing? Because, there's a beauty that Hinduism has. Temples have that beautiful aspect to them. Of course, probably there should be some sense of decorum, but that needs to come from within, isn't it? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yes. See, I'm a Hindu right-wing activist, and I openly say that. But I always say we don't need anything like an ultra-right. See, there might be urban Naxals, but we need not be urban Nazis. So this kind of extreme fringe in any community or ideology is bad. So for everything that concerning Hinduism, let us not invoke anything that will happen in church or mosque. Second, Jasmine Jaffer is a very known face. With due respect to her, I don't think she consciously made a controversy, even though it might have become controversial. I think we need more sensible middle ground or sensible middle of the road kind of a conversation here, where we respect. She accepted the mistake. People were gracious to accept it, and the issues got over. See, this is the kind of thing that we need to have, and we need to bring a synthesis. And one very important thing I would like to emphasize is, in Kerala, it never became a communal problem. It never became anything like a conflicting problem. People were magnanimous from both sides, and we settled it amicably.
All right, 20 seconds, Lakshya. You run out of time. You can make a comment that can go viral now.
Well, I just want to say that we're here to develop some bright future for the youngsters as well. But at the same time, I think, as Rahul mentioned, but I want to say that we need to be a bit more stringent with the laws that have to come in place, and not get lost about the whataboutery. Isne aisa kiya to usne aisa kiya. We don't have to go about whataboutery right now. We always have to focus on what's right, follow it, and make an impact in the world. That's what we're here for, right? Influencers are here to make an impact in a positive way. And I think we can do it, given that we have people around us who are also enlightening each other. So I think that's very important for us to make sure that we're creating the right impact, because people are going to follow us, right? We are influencers or whatever we call. People are going to follow us. If we make reels on streets doing all gaga and all that, there are going to be 10 more people, because they know this is the way of living. So we don't want that thing to happen,
10 more
right?
seconds, but unfortunately, I'm completely out of time. But all of you have made the points. Let's hope this conversation goes viral, and perhaps people don't upset religious sentiments or any sentiment just in the quest of making posts go viral. Vasudha.
Absolutely, Veera. And also, I disagree with Lakshya. I don't need any more laws. I want young people in this country to be free and, more importantly, expressive and, of course, respectful of sentiments. Moving on, Veera, tomorrow is Ganesh Chaturthi, the start of the 10-day celebration of Lord Ganesha's birth, and the installation of Ganesha idols in homes across the country has begun. So how about a sustainable celebration this year? Here is chef and entrepreneur Aruna Vijay with a quick and easy, eco-friendly Ganesh statue.
आप सबको मेरी तरफ से गणेश चतुर्थी की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। बचपन में ना हमेशा एक्साइटमेंट होती थी कि बापा कब घर आएंगे और हम कब खुशियां मनाएंगे, मगर अब पोल्यूशन को देखकर लगता है ना कि बापा को भी अच्छा नहीं लगता होगा कि हम त्योहार को पवित्रता के साथ नहीं मनाते।
तो मैंने सोचा क्यों ना इस बार मोदक की जगह घर पे बप्पा की एक इको फ्रेंडली मूर्ति बनाया जाए। एवरी एफर्ट मैटर्स, राइट? सो हमें चाहिए हाइजीनिकली पैक्ड एंड प्योर हल्दी, आटा, चीनी, थोड़ा दूध एंड घी। सो ये मूर्ति बनाने के लिए हम सबसे पहले चीनी का पाउडर करेंगे, फिर लेंगे एक बड़ा सा परात, इसमें ऐड करेंगे आटा, पिसा हुआ चीनी, हल्दी, दूध या पानी और एक टाइट सा आटा गूंद लेंगे। फर्स्ट बेस और पेट के लिए हम लेंगे 2 गोल बॉल्स और एक को पतला सा फ्लैटन आउट कर लेंगे और दूसरे को इसके ऊपर चिपका लेंगे। फिर और एक बॉल रोल करेंगे, उसे सुंद का शेप देकर उसे भी इसके ऊपर अटैच कर देंगे। अब हाथ, कान और छोटा सा मुकुट बनाकर बप्पा को पूरा रूप देंगे। फाइनली थोड़ा सा घी लगाने से उनमें एक शाइन भी आ जाएगी और बस आपका घर पे बना इको फ्रेंडली बप्पा तैयार है। इको फ्रेंडली इसके लिए क्योंकि इनका विसर्जन भी होगा कंप्लीटली पोल्यूशन फ्री।
गणपति बाप्पा मोरिया, अगले बरस तू जल्दी आ।
हेलो मोटो।
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Attacks on journalists and attacks on the fundamental right to freedom of expression at a time when reliable information is key. Protecting press freedom is more important than ever. Journalists, including those who risk their lives to expose hard truths, are not a target.
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी। तो मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियाँ आती हैं। तो जब ये रियलाइज़ हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया। कशित आई ऐसे बॉय मिलते मुंबई में, चांस ही नहीं।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो। प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
He is a soldier, you are a soldier, and this is war.
When the world rages, a soldier stands firm and focused on his mission. Just like Finesta Windows is engineered to keep out noise, dust and rain.
Switch to Finesta Windows. Don't forget to watch War 2 from 14th of August.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
You know, first when Sayara released and we as audience realized, oh my God, what is happening? You know, when did you realize it? Like, it's like, I didn't expect this, what is happening? Like that wave that hits you.
You know, the first thing that really hit me, I'm telling you, was a month back actually, to be honest, is when Adi sir saw the film. And he saw a very loose cut and he decided the release date. But he was always, like me and Akshay were so into making the film, I think, along with Sumanna and all. Sometimes when you're so into it and you know, you don't realize, you don't see it from, and then he saw it from a third person perspective. I mean, he was always super confident about the film. And he had actually had this talk with me about how I've done. And yeah, we all grew up. I was in the 8th grade when I saw Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and said I want to make a love story like this. For a person like him to say that, you know, you've made a great film. All he had asked for me was to make your best film for me. And I did. And I'm just glad that, so that was the first thing, you know, and that validation was great. I wasn't shouting over the roof for it. It gives you a lot of confidence at that moment, you know, for the person who's actually put his money where it is, and he wasn't talking about anything else but on a very unassembled film at that time. Could feel the emotion and be listening. But it was the first time we felt that we made something special. But yes, once the numbers came in, I think then it was Akshay.
The advance.
Yeah, and the advances came in, and then people were sending me messages, and all they said, no, don't listen to anyone. So I at one point just put my phone off and said, you know, this is getting too out of hand. And then in the night we got the number.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Now the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves.
And Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
India's defense game is no longer evolving, it's transforming. The NDTV Defense Summit 2025 brings together the sharpest minds. One day, big conversations, bold ideas. The mission is clear. Stay ready. stay ahead. Leading from the front, the Honourable Defence Minister, Rajnath Singh. The NDTV Defence Summit 2025, Warfare in the 21st Century.
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा टेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा।
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल
Shiv, you don't know how the other half lives. You don't know what it's like in the villages of this country. Shiv, you sit in your air-conditioned studio and lecture families who live in rural areas. But Shiv, you do not understand the pressures and community loyalties. This is what I've been hearing since my show last night triggered a huge reaction, especially on social media. But you know what, viewer? It has only convinced me that I need to shine the light even brighter on the true menace of modern India. The horrific murder of 26-year-old Nikki Bhati, and yes, we are still talking about her, who was set ablaze by her husband and in-laws in Greater Noida, is a symptom of a rotting system where Gram Panchayats, the so-called guardians of rural justice, are complicit in normalizing domestic violence, dowry, and even murder. Tonight, I may end up triggering you even more, so I seek your advance understanding and perhaps even your forgiveness. These local bodies, meant to uphold fairness, are the purveyors and enablers of regressive practices, and Nikki Bhati's case lays this completely bare. 6 months before her death, 6 months before her murder, I beg your pardon, Nikki fled her abusive in-laws' home, battered and broken. A Gram Panchayat was called, and what did they do? They brokered a reconciliation with her husband Vipin Bhati, who promised not to hit her again. He didn't promise that he wouldn't murder her. The same Vipin against whom there was an earlier case of violence. No accountability, no follow-up, just a rap on the knuckles and a return to the house of horrors. Fast forward, and Nikki was burned alive over what we are told is a 36 lakh rupee dowry demand. Her 6-year-old son witnessing the unimaginable. This isn't an isolated failure, as you obviously know by now. It's a pattern. And today I am calling out the Gram Panchayats. Often dominated by patriarchal elders who prioritize family and village honor and social harmony over justice, they pressure women like Nikki to return to abusive homes, dismissing dowry demands and violence as normal husband-wife fights. As Vipin himself callously said, "Tonight I will show you how normal this is for Gram Panchayats." Yes, you are going to hear from a Gram Panchayat tonight on this show, and I am not going to hold back, I promise you. These councils don't just fail to protect, they actively reinforce a culture where dowry is a gift and violence is a private matter. In 2022, viewer, did you know 2,138 women died in dowry cases just here in Uttar Pradesh alone, the state where I'm reporting from tonight. Yet panchayats rarely challenge this cycle, often mediating marriages, sometimes even illegal marriages of children through dowry deals, as Nikki Bhati's father has admitted, saying, "In our clan, marriages often happen through dowry mediators." This is complicity in a system that commodifies women and excuses murder. By failing to enforce the Dowry Prohibition Act or report abuse, Gram Panchayats, village elders, these shameless men you see in these villages, embolden perpetrators, leaving women like Nikki trapped in a deadly status quo. It's time to strip Gram Panchayats of their unchecked power to resolve such cases. They are not courts. They are often kangaroo tribunals that normalize violence under the guise of tradition. Real justice demands dismantling this apathy. starting with holding panchayats accountable for enabling crimes that they claim to settle.
मेरे साथ कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं जो इस समाज में सालों से शादियां करवाते आए हैं। उनसे बात करते हैं कि आखिर दहेज को लेकर क्या कुछ प्रथा है और शादियां किस तरह से होती हैं। दहेज को लेकर शादी में किस तरह से बात होती है और कैसे दहेज का जो कितना दहेज लेना है या देना है वो तय कैसे होता है।
देखिए, एक बिचौलिया के माध्यम से बातें होती हैं। जो लड़का बता रहा होता है तो उससे पूछा जाता है भाई इनका कोई दान दहेज की मांग तो नहीं है। वो लड़के वाले से बात कर लेता है। किसी की मांग होती है, किसी की इच्छाएं होती है तो वो बिचौलिए को बता देता है कि भैया मेरी इच्छाएं हैं, मेरे पड़ोसी में शादी हुई थी, आप ऐसी करा दो। या फिर लड़के के परिवार वालों से पूछ लेते जाता है कि भैया तुम्हारी कोई इच्छाएं तो नहीं है, उन्हें बता दो, अगर हमारी हिम्मत है पूर्ति करने की तो उन्हें कर देंगे, अन्यथा हम कहीं और लड़का देख लेंगे।
शादी के 9 साल बाद क्या कोई दहेज मांगता है? ऐसा कोई मामला सामने आया है? इस मामले में कहा जा रहा है कि दहेज मांगा जा रहा था, 9 साल शादी को हो गए थे। क्या समाज में ऐसे मामले सामने आते हैं?
कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो कहने के लिए तो ये हम 1 रुपये का रिश्ता ले रहे हैं, लेकिन बाद में वो उस बच्चे को परेशान करने लगते हैं और उस पर डिमांड रखनी शुरू कर देते हैं वो, जिसकी वजह से ये कारण बनते हैं।
सुना है कि जो शादियां होती हैं गुर्जरों में, उसमें महंगी गाड़ियां और पैसे बहुत चलन है, देने का बहुत चलन है।
जी जी, गाड़ियां महंगी दी जाती हैं, लेकिन बेटी वाले को अपनी अकॉर्डिंग जैसा लड़का देखते हैं। अगर मध्यस्थता जो कराते हैं उनसे पहले पूछ लिया जाता है कि अगर औकात होती है उसकी तो उनसे हम हाथ मिला लेते हैं, अन्यथा नहीं करते हैं। कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं कि फिर बाद में बीच में उन डिमांडों को रख लेते हैं कि दहेज के लिए, कि बोला कि गाड़ी तो छोटी तय हुई और उसके बाद में फिर कि बोला कि नहीं नहीं मुझको तो बड़ी गाड़ी है, तो मान सम्मान के लिए फिर बेटी वाला उनको गाड़ी भी देता है।
आपके समाज में क्या कोई कोशिश करता है कि दहेज का चलन बंद हो, ये बंद हो जाए? बहुत लंबे समय से चला रहा है।
देखिए, बहुत बार कोशिश की गई है, बहुत बार पंचायतें भी हुई हैं इस विषय पे। अगर कोई दहेज ना ले ना दे, 5 आदमी की बारात बुला के तो भी शादी हुई है समाज में, ऐसे नहीं हुई है। कुछ लोग चंद ऐसे भी होते हैं। मैं चाहता हूँ कि दहेज में समाज में दहेज बंद हो जाए और मेरे लड़के को मिल जाए। ऐसे भी लोग हैं भैया, लेकिन हम सामर्थ्य देखते नहीं। मुझे चाहे 2 बीघे ज़मीन बेचनी पड़ जाए अपनी, पर देखूँगा स्कॉर्पियो ही। ये भी व्यवस्थाएं हैं लोगों की भाई साहब।
And joining me live now are Nikki Bhatti's father, Bhikari Singh Paila, and Rajkumar Rupwas, who's a member of the village Gram Panchayat, which was responsible or at least took part not only in fixing the marriage, but also in the dowry negotiations, as well as convincing the family not once, not twice, but on 3 occasions to actually send Nikki Bhatti back to her marital home. And then we know what happened. Bhikari Singh Paila ji और राजकुमार रूपवास जी, हमसे जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद। भिकारी सिंह जी, आपसे पहले मैं आऊँगा। आपने पुलिस से कहा था कि आपके दामाद का एनकाउंटर हो जाए क्योंकि उसने आपको बेटी निक्की को मार दिया। आपने उस परिवार के खिलाफ फांसी की सज़ा मांगा जिसमें निक्की की शादी हुई। तो फिर आपने कैसे उनके घर वालों को निक्की के अंतिम संस्कार में शामिल होने दिया? भिकारी जी।
संस्कार में वो तो ससुर आ गया था और कोई नहीं था संस्कार में। बच्चा ने दाग लगाया।
वो कैसे शामिल थे? आपने तो पुलिस से मांगा कि उनका एनकाउंटर होना चाहिए, उनको फांसी पे चढ़ा देना चाहिए, तो उनको शामिल होने कैसे दिया आपने?
शामिल हमने धमकाया, शामिल कहाँ हो गए वो?
आपकी सहमति से आए थे वो?
सर हमने तो नहीं, हमारी सहमति से कोई नहीं था।
तो आपने कुछ नहीं कहा? आपने आपकी बेटी की अंतिम संस्कार थी वो?
नहीं, उनके जी सर, वो तो अब तक गांव परिवार जो अब कह रहा ना कि जी वो ऐसा नहीं था, ये नहीं था। अंतिम संस्कार की तो भस्मी भी उन्होंने सिलाई, हमने बच्चे भेज के सिलवाई है। जो भस्मी होती है वो भी हमने यहाँ से गाड़ी भेज के वो सिलवाई है। जो आज लोग कह रहे हैं कि वो नहीं थे, ये पड़ोसी, ये जो बिरादर समाज तो आई ही, यही तो सब लोग इधर उधर की बातें करना, ये कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है इधर उधर की बात करने।
नहीं, आप
तो मेरी बेटी चली गई, अब क्या मेरे पास सर?
भिखारी जी, आप बोल रहे हैं कि ग्राम पंचायत की वजह से ये सब करना पड़ा आपको, आप पे दबाव आया था, इसलिए ये सब हुआ है?
देखो, ग्राम पंचायत की वजह से ही मैंने बेटी को वहाँ भेजा, और सामाजिक तौर से ही वहाँ सब चीज़ सामाजिक तौर से मैंने की। मेरी सामाजिक तौर रह कहाँ गई, कहाँ मन रही है? मेरी बेटी चली गई मेरे हाथों में।
ये हम बिल्कुल समझ से भिखारी जी, इसलिए हम समझना चाहते हैं आपसे कि जब ग्राम पंचायत ने आपको बोला कि निकी को वापस भेजे अपने ससुराल में, जहाँ पे वो पिट कर आई थी, वो जख्म लेकर आई थी, आपने कैसे ये निर्णय लिया कि उसको वापस भेज दिया जाए? वो आप तो आपकी बेटी थी।
बेटी थी, जब समाज कहने लगे, वो गलती मानने लगे लोग, इसलिए हमने गलती मान रहे हैं। लोग विराट समादर हमारे कहने लगे कोई बात ना, गलती मान रहे तो भेज दो। आदमी से तो बड़ी कोई चीज़ ही नहीं है।
लेकिन 3 बार
आदमी गलती मान रहा तो हमारा फर्ज बनता।
इस साल 3 बार हुआ, साल में 3 बार निकी आपके घर आई थी पति से पिटने के बाद। किसने आपको बोला कि निकी को वापस भेज दिया जाए? क्या ग्राम पंचायत ने बोला कि कोई बात नहीं, ऐसे होता रहता है, आप भेज दो वापस?
3 बार नहीं सर, 3 बार नहीं आई थी, 3 बार नहीं आई थी। ये फरवरी में आई थी बिटिया, और ये अप्रैल में लोग मेरे पास आए थे। अप्रैल में एक बार आए, एक बार ही बिटिया गई थी। 3 बार का कोई चक्कर नहीं है, 3 बार तो वैसे ही हो रहा सब। आपको
तो आपको क्या
जो जायज बात है, एक बार ही आए थे फरवरी।
एक बात समझ में नहीं आती है,
ये कहागा आगे कोई ऐसी हरकत नहीं।
ये ग्राम पंचायत के लोग आपको क्या बोलते हैं?
जी
आप तो निकी के पिताजी हैं, तो ग्राम पंचायत के लोग क्या बोलते हैं आपको?
ग्राम पंचायत के ये बोलते हैं कि भाई जो अब गलती होगी आगे खुद ही होगी।
मतलब परिवार की इज्जत के लिए बेटी को वापस भेज दो।
वापस भेज दिया।
राजकुमार जी, साल में 1 या 2 बार निकी भाटी अपने पिता के घर आई पति से पिटकर।
जी,
निकी के पिता के मुताबिक ग्राम पंचायत ने उसे मजबूर किया कि निकी को वापस भेज दे। आपने ऐसे क्यों किया?
कि बच्चे को जो संस्कार दिए जाते हैं वो माँ बाप से दिए जाते हैं। अगर कोई सामाजिक लोग आके, रिश्तेदार अगर बोले भैया कोई बात नहीं है, हमारी जिम्मेदारी है और तुम बिटिया को भेज दो, तो हमारे जो सामाजिक जो लोग हैं, जो हमारे घर परिवार के होते हैं, वो उसको समझते हैं और हम उन्हीं के कहने पर 1-2 बार मौका देते हैं। इसीलिए हमने बिटिया को भेज दिया।
1-2 बार मौका देते हैं? जब वो पिटकर आई है तो आप 1-2 बार मौका देते हैं उस परिवार को?
जी सर,
इसका मतलब है
दिया हमने।
राजकुमार जी, इसका मतलब है कि क्या एक महिला की जिंदगी आपकी सामाजिक परंपराओं से कम अहमियत रखती है, ये आप बोल रहे हैं आज?
सर, ऐसा है कि कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी होती हैं कि जो अगले वाला है वो माफ़ी मांगता है, सामने गिड़गिड़ाता है।
आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं जाते सर? आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं जाते? जब एक महिला, जब निकी पिटकर आई थी आपके पास, अपने पिता के घर के पास, आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं जाते हैं?
कुछ ऐसा होता है कि कुछ हमारे सामाजिक लोगों में ये
कौन है ये सामाजिक लोग? ये कौन है ये सामाजिक लोग?
सामाजिक इसमें रिश्तेदार होते हैं, मामा के, फूफी के, और आपके जैसे कुछ चाचा ताऊ के होते हैं।
वो कौन होते हैं सर? वो कौन होते हैं? जब एक महिला पिटकर आई है तो वो कौन होते हैं बोलने?
दोनों वो ये होते हैं कि जो उनके रिश्तेदार हैं ना, जैसे मेरी बेटी ब्याही है वहाँ पे और उनकी बेटी वहाँ ब्याही है, तो वो क्या कहते हैं कि वो थोड़ा सा उनको फ़ोन करते हैं, रिश्तेदार के रिश्तेदार, और रिश्तेदार फिर हमारे पास आते हैं, तो रिश्तेदार उनके जो होते हैं, जैसे उनकी बिटिया ब्याही है, तो वो ये कहते हैं कि हमारी जिम्मेदारी रहेगी अगर बिटियों का आगे से कुछ होता है तो।
सर, किसने हक दिया आपको या किसी और को कि आप इसको नजरअंदाज करें? जब एक बेटिया पिटकर आती है, वो एक पुलिस केस बन जाता है, तो आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं जाते हो? आपने किसने हक दिया कि आप डिसाइड कर सकते हो कि क्या हो जाए?
सर ऐसा है कि मैं आपको फिर बोल रहा हूं कि पुलिस को जब बिल्कुल ही ज्यादा, ये देखो मार पिटाई हुई, मैं मानता हूं, ठीक है, लेकिन पुलिस के पास भी अगर हम जाते हैं या कुछ कहते भी हैं तो पुलिस का भी यही कहना होता है कि भाई पहली बार भी है, कोई बात नहीं है, आप अपने घर में, कोई बात नहीं है, मियां बीवी का झगड़ा होता है तो आप इसको सुलटा लो तो बहुत अच्छी बात होगी। अब हम नहीं चाहते कि अगर हम पुलिस के पास जाते और पुलिस को हम लिख के देते, FIR दर्ज कराते, लेकिन हो सकता है कि वो FIR दर्ज करने से और ज्यादा बढ़ जाती।
क्या आपने ट्राई भी किया ये? आपने ट्राई भी नहीं किया ये? कहाँ ट्राई किया आपने?
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ आपसे,
फरवरी में जब निकी वापस आई थी घर, आपने उसको तुरंत वापस भेज दिया।
जी।
आपने पुलिस के पास, आप तो पुलिस के पास नहीं गए थे? आप
पुलिस के पास हम इसलिए नहीं गए थे कि मैं आपको फिर बोल रहा हूँ कि कुछ आपस में थोड़ा सा ये होता है कि भाई कोई बात नहीं है, एक दो बार इसको चांस दे दिया जाए।
ये तो पहली बार नहीं थी सर, ये तो पहली बार नहीं थी। ये
देखो थोड़ा बहुत तो झगड़ा होता रहता है, लेकिन जो झगड़ा हुआ है,
थोड़ा बहुत झगड़ा सर आप बोल रहे हो?
नहीं, जो स्टार्टिंग में शुरू हुआ, स्टार्टिंग में जो शुरू हुआ वो थोड़ा बहुत हुआ पहला,
ये
फिर ये बढ़ता चला गया थोड़ा, और बढ़ने के बाद में फिर हम बिटिया को ले आए, बिटिया को हमने रखा, लेकिन फिर मैंने वही कहा है कि जैसे बिटिया की जो सास होती है उसका पियर होता है, उसके भाई होते हैं, और जैसे बिटिया सास की जो बिटिया कहीं शादी होती है उसका दामाद होता है, तो वो संपर्क में जैसा।
सर हमने सब सारे जो वीडियो सामने आए हैं हमने देखा है, पूरा इंडिया ने देखा है वो वीडियो में क्या हो रहा है। भिखारी जी, आपने ग्राम पंचायत के सदस्य की बात आपने सुना है, आपने अपनी बेटी को इसलिए खो दिया क्योंकि आपने ग्राम पंचायत की बात मानी और पिता होने का फर्ज निभाने में असफल रहे हैं। क्या अब भी उनकी बात मानोगे? आपने सुना है कि वो क्या बोल रहे हैं, अब भी क्या उनकी बात मानोगे आप?
नहीं, अब नहीं मानेंगे जी, अब बिटिया भेजनी नहीं है वहाँ।
क्या बोलेंगे आप? ये
बिटिया
ग्राम पंचायत
तो
के
खुद
सदस्य
दूसरी को
क्या बोलेंगे आप?
अब भेजनी नहीं है जी, मुझे बोलना क्या ग्राम पंचायत के वजह, अब क्या बोलना रहेगा मेरे पास? एक बिटिया रहेगी, या बिटिया को खो दूँ मैं सर? अब नहीं किसी की माननी है मुझे, बेटियां अपने पास रखनी है, जैसी मैं खाऊंगा ऐसी खिलाता रहूँगा।
राजकुमार जी, पुलिस आपके खिलाफ भी कार्रवाई क्यों ना करे निक्की भाटी की मौत के लिए? आप भी मौत के लिए जिम्मेदार तो हो।
ऐसा है जी, किसी के अंदर कोई इतना घुसता नहीं है कि उसको जो है वो अंदर क्या कर देगा, ये पता नहीं चलता है। अगर आदमी को ये पता चल जाए अब भाई ये स्त्री नेता या घटिया आदत मतलब इस पर कर सकता है, तो फिर हम भेजते नहीं। हमें अंदर से पता नहीं था कि भाई ये स्त्री मतलब ये काम कर सकता है विपिन भाटी।
भिखारी जी, इसके पहले फरवरी से पहले आपको तो अंदाजा था कि क्या हो रहा है उस निक्की के घर में? आपको पता ही था? इसके पहले भी कुछ घटना थे, इसके पहले भी कुछ केसेस थे, इसके पहले भी कुछ आरोप थे विपिन के खिलाफ। तो आपको एक आइडिया था कि क्या हो रहा है उसके खिलाफ?
इसके पहले कुछ नहीं था, कुछ नहीं था सर, कुछ नहीं था इसके पहले। 2024 से पहले कुछ नहीं था, ये 2024 के इसके बाद में हुए हैं, फरवरी के बाद सब।
तो आप आज ग्राम पंचायत के
इसी फरवरी के बाद में सारे सिस्टम हुए
ने जो आप पर दबाव डाला,
एक बार लड़की
निक्की को वापस भेजने के लिए, आप उनको क्या बोलेंगे आज? वो भी तो जिम्मेदार हैं आज।
नहीं, देखो सब आदमी आता, जो आदमी आता वो दूसरे दोनों घरों को बसाना चाहता, बीच का आदमी वो उजाड़ने नहीं चाहता, बीच का उजाड़ना। बीच का आदमी का कोई रोल नहीं है, बीच का आदमी मेरा भी घर बसा रहा, उसका भी घर बसा रहा, उजाड़ना नहीं चाहता। बीच का आदमी, आप भी मध्यस्थता में आओगे तो बीच का आदमी तो घर को बसाए।
आखिरी सवाल भिखारी जी, आप
बीच के आदमी को क्यों आरोप दिया जाए? बीच का
नहीं, क्योंकि वो पुलिस के पास तो नहीं गए थे, उनका फर्ज बनता था कि पुलिस के पास जाए, एक केस रजिस्टर करे और विपिन के खिलाफ एक केस रजिस्टर करे और कार्रवाई शुरू करे। आप निक्की, भिखारी जी मेरा आखिरी सवाल, आप निक्की के ससुराल वालों पर उंगली उठाते हो लेकिन अभी भी उनसे संबंध बनाए हुए हो। आप अपनी बेटी के कातिलों से रिश्ते जोड़े रखे हो, क्यों ऐसा है?
नहीं, हम नहीं जोड़ रहे कातिलों से। कौन कह रहा है कातिलों से रिश्ते जोड़ रहे हैं? कौन कहता है इस बात को? हमें नहीं जोड़ना रिश्ता।
वो तो आए थे अंतिम संस्कार में, क्यों आने दिया आपने?
ये तो सब कौन?
ससुराल के लोग।
कौन कहता है कि हमने बुलाए वो?
तो कैसे आने दिया आपने?
कौन कहता है इस बात को सर?
कैसे
हमने बुलाए वो लोग? नहीं, हम रिश्ते नहीं जोड़ रहे। बेटी जला दी, भस्मी हमने सिलाई है और संस्कार हमने किया था। हम अपने पास रखेंगे बेटी को, दूसरी को भी जलवा दें आज भेज के।
राजकुमार जी, आपकी ग्राम पंचायतें ऐसे विवाह को मंजूरी देती है जिसमें दहेज लिया जाता है, क्या आपको भी जेल में नहीं डाल देना चाहिए? आपको पता ही है कि दहेज इलीगल है इंडिया में।
जी बिल्कुल।
तो फिर
इसमें कई बार ऐसा है, पंचायत भी हुई थी, बैठे भी थे तो भाई इसको दहेज को बंद करो, ये चीज़ें ठीक नहीं है। लेकिन कुछ दरिंदे जैसे ये लोग हैं, ऐसे दरिंदे जीने नहीं देते हैं। बार बार जो ना ऐसे दरिंदे जिनको लोभ, लालच, खुद की कमाई करना नहीं चाहता, वो ऐसे लोग जो है कहीं ना कहीं जो है इसमें लिप्त होते हैं।
तो फिर आप ऐसे विवाह कैसे होने देते हो राजकुमार जी? दहेज आपको पता है कि 1961 से इलीगल है, वो बात कैसे आती है लोगों के बीच?
देखो ऐसा है, आपको भी पता है कि हर बेटी के लिए हर बाप ये सोचता है कि मैं अपनी बेटी के लिए कुछ दे दूं, ठीक है जी। उसमें कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि जैसे आपने भी बोला, ग्राम पंचायत जैसे जो लोग होते हैं कि जो जैसे माना किसी बेटी को देखने के, मतलब किसी बेटा को देखने के लिए हम जाते हैं बेटी के लिए, तो वो ये कहते हैं कि भाई हमें 1 रुपये चाहिए, हम बिल्कुल भी दहेज नहीं लेंगे, ठीक है जी। अब दहेज नहीं लेंगे, तब तो उन्होंने बोल दिया
सर,
ठीक है भाई, हम दहेज नहीं लेंगे।
ये सब ऐसे ही शुरू होता है ये सब।
हाँ सर सुनो, उसके बाद जब दहेज लेने की देने की कोई बात नहीं होती है, और जब बिटिया की एक चिट्ठी होती है और लगन होती है, उसको पंडित जी से सुझवा कर जब दी जाती है, तब भी वो जो है, जैसा हमने 1 रुपये का रिश्ता बोला उन्होंने, और हमने माना 111 रुपये जो भी दे दिए, हमने उनको पहुंचा दिए, लेकिन तब कुछ नहीं बोला। तब जब शादी हो जाती है, जब फेरे हो जाते हैं मंडप पर, उसके बाद में कुछ दिन बाद फिर शुरू हो जाते हैं, अब हमें दहेज चाहिए। अब उससे पहले कि क्या कह सकते हैं बताइए आप मुझे।
लेकिन आपने ही तो अग्रीमेंट फाइनलाइज किया है ना इन परिवारों के बीच में सर, आप तो मीडिएटर हो।
मैं आपकी बात से सहमत हूँ। इसमें जैसे एग्रीमेंट ऐसा कुछ नहीं लिखा पढ़ी होता है, इसमें केवल ये होता है कि एक परंपरा है हमारी पहले से चली आ रही है कि हमने लड़का देखा, लड़का ठीक है।
सर, ग्राम पंचायतों ने दहेज को लीगलाइज किया है, जो इलीगल है इंडिया में, आप जैसे लोगों ने लीगलाइज कर दिया है दहेज को। ये है सच्चाई।
नहीं, उसमें सब नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है, उसमें सब नहीं है, बहुत अच्छे लोग भी हैं भाई जी।
सर आपको पता है कि कितने महिलाएं हैं इंडिया में जो साल में मर जाते हैं डाउरी केसेस में? बिल्कुल आपको पता है 6000 से ज्यादा जो रजिस्टर्ड केसेस हैं। इसका मतलब है कि एक्चुअल फिगर जो है वो इससे कई ज्यादा होगा। लेकिन भिखारी जी, मैं एक पॉइंट रखना चाहता हूं आपके सामने। आपने दहेज दिया और अपनी जो कम्युनिटी लॉयल्टी, सामाजिक वफादारी को अपनी बेटी की जिंदगी से ऊपर रखा। क्या आप मानते हो, क्योंकि लोग ये बोलेंगे भिखारी जी, आपका दर्द हम समझते हैं, लेकिन लोग बोलेंगे आज कि आप भी निक्की की मौत के जिम्मेदार हो।
दर्द होगा भैया, मेरा दर्द हो गया।
हम समझ सकते हैं भिखारी जी,
दर्द होगा भैया।
काफ़ी परेशान है भैया।
नहीं भिखारी जी, हम समझ सकते हैं। हम सिर्फ अपना आपकी बात समझना चाहते हैं अब, क्योंकि लोग आपको देख रहे हैं अभी।
मेरे बहुत तेज दर्द हो रहा है, जाओ।
राजकुमार जी, आपको पता है, जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि 1961 से दहेज मांगना, दहेज देना, दहेज पर बात करना ये गैर कानूनी है। आपकी पंचायत ने इसे जिंदा रखा है और कानून तोड़ा है। आपके हाथों पर हजारों औरतों का खून है। क्या बोलेंगे आप?
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ, आपको पता है सर, मुझे भी पता है भाई इसमें दहेज देना और दहेज लेना अपराध है, लेकिन परिस्थिति ऐसी आ जाती है घर के अंदर, कुछ माना मेरा बेटा है, मेरी बेटी है, और मैं कह रहा हूं कि भाई दहेज नहीं देना है, ठीक है, और मेरा बेटा या मेरा रिश्तेदार कोई ऐसा कह रहा है अब भाई नहीं कोई बात नहीं है, अपनी बेटी के लिए तो दे रहा हूं मैं, क्योंकि हर माँ बाप ये चाहता है कि मैं अपनी बेटी को खुश रखूं। अगर कहीं कुछ देने से या कुछ पैसे कुछ मतलब करने से और मेरी बेटी अगर सुखी रह जाए तो मैं अपनी मर्जी से किसी के दबाव में ना आके मैं उसको दे देता हूं। लेकिन अगर मेरी बेटी को शादी के बाद कुछ पीड़ित किया जाता है और कुछ कहते हैं भाई मुझे मोटरसाइकिल चाहिए या मुझे कार चाहिए, तो फिर उसमें माँ बाप का क्या दोष है?
फिर भी आपने कुछ नहीं किया राजकुमार जी। सच्चाई तो ये है कि ग्राम पंचायत ने फिर भी शादी के बाद जो हुआ था विवाद, उसको लेकर भी आपने कुछ नहीं किया। आपने निकी का सुरक्षा नहीं किया, आपने उसको वापस भेज दिया और अब वो नहीं रही। मुझे लगता है, मैं आखिरी में ये बोलूँगा कि आपके खिलाफ मेरा पर्सनल कुछ नहीं है, मैं आपको जानता नहीं हूँ, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ ये बोलना चाहूँगा एंड में कि मुझे लगता है आप दोनों को जेल में होना चाहिए, आप दोनों को सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए, क्योंकि आप भी एक लेवल पर जिम्मेदार हो निकी के डेथ के लिए। नमस्कार और थैंक यू, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए।
पिता कभी नहीं चाहेगा कि मेरी बेटी कभी इस तरीका से दुखी हो या कोई ऐसी दिक्कत है।
हमसे बात करने के लिए धन्यवाद राजकुमार जी। And I just want to show you some data of what dowry deaths in India really looks like. The last year for data that we have is 2022 according to the National Crime Records Bureau. Uttar Pradesh, the state I am in right now, 2,138 deaths. Bihar, 1,057 deaths. Madhya Pradesh, 518 deaths in 2022. West Bengal recorded 472 deaths. Karnataka, Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Kerala combined had 442 deaths in 2022. And let me remind you once again, viewer, these are only the registered known cases. And these are known to be a tiny fraction of what the real, actual number of total dowry death cases per year could actually be. Remember that figure, 6,000 known and registered. What's the actual number? Could be many, many multiples of that. Just keep those numbers in mind. And on India Matters, remember, we always bring you all sides of this big country. From dowry, we now take you to something much more modern, something that happened all across on the other end of the country in Visakhapatnam, and it happened at sea. What an absolutely incredible landmark, historic day today is for the Indian Navy, because not one but two of these made in India frontline warships entered service at the same time. It's never happened before. It is truly unprecedented. The Indian Navy has been hungry for more and more warships given its huge number of responsibilities in the Indian Ocean against a hegemonic China, the huge number of responsibilities in a blue water world. But the Indian Navy receiving these two warships today was truly a red letter occasion. The Defence Minister was there to commission the Udaygiri and Himgiri into service. But guess what? I and NDTV's Vishnu Shom were lucky enough to get an exclusive full access day on board both these warships days before today's historic commissioning. Take a look.
These are India's newest frigates, two state-of-the-art warships, each displacing 6,700 tons, being commissioned simultaneously, an enormous boost in the firepower of the Indian Navy. This is in fact the first time that two major surface combatants from different Indian shipyards are being inducted into the fleet simultaneously, showcasing India's accelerating naval modernization and self-defense.
Earlier ships used to be built up from the hull upwards. This ship has been, it's a modular kind of a ship, like we really see in our, stuff which has been done everywhere. Nowadays the construction is very modular. This allows us to make the ship faster, and not just faster, smarter, because the different parts are made in different shipyards.
So the ship is being built in slices.
Built in slices, and they're brought together.
Amazing.
And so you can engage different MSMEs, you can engage different shipyards, you can engage different people. It gets done faster. Dry docks are the place where the ship is put and put up together. So you just get the modules together, and you just put in the dry dock, and tuck, everything comes together, and the ship is built up, and it's good to go.
These state-of-the-art warships, part of the Nilgiri class under Project 17A, are a generation leap over their predecessors. INS Udaygiri, built by Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited in Mumbai, marks a special milestone as the 100th ship designed by the Navy's Warship Design Bureau. INS Himgiri, the first of its class constructed by Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers in Kolkata, joins it in this historic dual commissioning. The names Udaygiri and Himgiri carry a proud legacy, harking back to the Indian Navy's Leander-class frigates commissioned between 1972 and 1981. These earlier ships, also named INS Udaygiri and INS Himgiri, were built under a collaboration with the United Kingdom and served until their decommissioning between 1996 and 2013. The original Udaygiri and Himgiri were workhorses of the fleet, playing key roles in maritime patrols and operations during their time. Their names now live on in these advanced successors.
This is a question again to both of you, which they were discussing with us before we began this.
They had to join the forces in a sense. No, I'm joking. They wanted to because their parents were in the armed forces. You're what, fourth generation? Or
no, I'm the second generation.
Second generation, and you're
They're
fourth
both
generation.
second generation naval officers,
yeah.
and he's a fourth generation forces officer.
Yeah. Tell us about that. I mean, it's this family tradition continuing, but it's clearly something you wanted to do. Your father was on a Leander class, right?
Yeah, both our fathers have been served on Leander class. My father was an engineer.
And the significance of Leander is obviously the names of the ships.
True,
I mean, there was an old Udaygiri, an old Himgiri, an old Taragiri,
right.
which in the past were Leander class ships, and now you've got this. And so your parents served on the old ships with the same names.
Even I served on the old ship. When I joined the Navy, I did my midshipman time on Dunagiri.
I see.
And that was my first ship, and which is the next ship to come out from the GRC anyways. I studied not too far from here in the Naval Children's School here. I was studying here. Visakhapatnam is the city of destiny in that sense for me. It is a deja vu, it's a feeling of deja vu. Earlier I used to come in as a son of the officer on board, and I would be pampered by young lieutenants there. Now I am pampering those young kids who are coming on board, trying to inspire them to join the Navy and show them what they are in for, and show them that the future is bright in the Navy.
No, it's incredible. Comrade Sood, your father as well, the naval officer, and served on board a Leander.
So my father actually served for 2.5 years on board the old Udaygiri.
Right. Oh, wow! So
I have the proud distinction of serving on board my father's ship itself, as we have it in the army.
Is he going to be here for the commissioning? Or?
Yeah, he'll be there for the
Wonderful.
commissioning.
Displacing 6,700 tons, these frigates are roughly 5% larger than the earlier Shivalik class, but feature a sleeker design with reduced radar cross-section for enhanced stealth. Powered by combined diesel or gas propulsion systems, they integrate diesel engines and gas turbines, driving what are called controllable pitch propellers managed by an integrated platform management system. Their formidable arsenal includes supersonic surface-to-surface missiles, the BrahMos, medium-range surface-to-air missiles, the Barak or MR-SAM, a 76mm main gun, and advanced anti-submarine warfare systems, making them versatile for multi-mission roles in the Indian Ocean and beyond. At the heart of the Project 17A frigates are its weapon systems, the RBU anti-submarine rockets, of which it's got 2 series of launchers over here on this flush deck. This is what a lot of people know everything about, it seems these days, the BrahMos missile itself. It fires 8 BrahMos missiles. These are launched from vertical silos that are over here, and right in front of me, all over here, you've got 16 surface-to-air missiles, and there are a further 16 surface-to-air missiles. These are called the MR-SAM, otherwise known as Barak 8. It's an Israeli design. The missiles themselves are being built now in India. This is absolutely critical as far as taking out enemy missiles is concerned, taking out enemy aircraft and other systems also. And right here, if you walk with me, you'll see the 76mm gun. This is an upgraded variant of a gun which we've seen in use in the Indian Navy for a while. It takes care of all sorts of threats. It can hit targets on the ground, it can hit targets in the air, ensure that the ship is protected from small threats such as enemy drones coming at it from the sea. The commissioning comes at a critical time as India strengthens its maritime presence to counter China's growing influence in the Indian Ocean, particularly through its string of pearls strategy involving ports like Gwadar in Pakistan and Hambantota in Sri Lanka. The Chinese also have their very first overseas military base in Djibouti in the Horn of Africa. These frigates will not only protect vital sea trade routes, but also project India's naval power from the Strait of Malacca to the African coast, reinforcing its role as a key player in Indo-Pacific maritime security. The construction of these frigates has bolstered India's defense ecosystem, involving over 200 micro, small and medium enterprises and supporting approximately 4,000 direct and 10,000 indirect jobs. Rigorous sea trials have validated their hull's machinery and systems, ensuring that they are ready for operational deployment. The event follows a string of indigenous platform commissions in 2025, including the destroyer Surat and the submarine Vakshir, underscoring India's push for self-reliance in defense. In fact, this is the golden period for the Indian Navy. Never has the force commissioned more warships into the fleet. This comes at a time when the Chinese Navy, the world's largest, continues to add new warships and submarines at a record pace. Between 2020 and 2025, India has commissioned 35 ships, an aircraft carrier, 4 destroyers, 7 frigates, 3 corvettes, 4 landing craft, 3 survey vessels, 2 patrol vessels, and 1 instrumentation ship. 7 submarines, including a ballistic missile submarine, and 6 diesel-electric submarines. That's a total of 42 platforms. With the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh commissioning these grey hulls at the Eastern Naval Command's INS Sirkar jetty, the ceremony will be more than a naval ritual. It's a celebration of India's journey towards a robust, self-sufficient maritime defence ecosystem.
The commissioning of 2 warships is fantastic for any navy. For India, it's particularly significant because the pace of naval shipbuilding has been a problem in the past. But now, with the commissioning of 2 warships of the Project 17 class on a single day, it is a red letter day for the Indian Navy. New capabilities, more numbers as India's naval threats keep evolving. With Shiv Arur in Visakhapatnam, Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
And joining me live now is Admiral Arun Prakash, former Chief of the Naval Staff, someone who has played a very significant role in his time in building up India's shipbuilding capability. He's been a strong proponent for building modern ships here in India. Admiral Prakash, good to see you. Thank you very much for your time here on NDTV. Big day, sir, for the Indian Navy. I bet you wish you were in Vizag today, as those 2 beautiful built in India ships, Udaygiri and Himgiri, were commissioned together into service, which is also quite a special thing. Your thoughts on this big day, sir?
Well, it's a great day. We have 2 ships, both indigenously built in different shipyards. Once again proving the capability of our warship building industry. It's a proud day. It's going to add a big punch to the Eastern Fleet, which these ships are going to join shortly. That's my own fleet, so although I can't be there myself, but I can't help feeling pleased as punch because the Indian Navy is going to receive a big measure of hitting power or punch in the form of these 2 modern stealth frigates.
How big a deal is this? The Indian Navy needs ships. It needs them fast. Admiral Prakash, you know that very well. You've been in the hot seat. How big a deal is it to, get to commission 2 ships on the same day?
Yeah, it's quite unusual, and it's a most welcome, development, because unfortunately, although we've become very good at building ships, but our pace of work is not up to international standards. As you must have realized by now, The Chinese shipbuilding and warship building industry is much faster. They are building ships at a fantastic rate. They've added ships in 1 year, which many navies don't have in their possession. So I think we need to pick up pace of shipbuilding. But notwithstanding that, it is still a very proud day, because these are very capable modern stealth frigates with tremendous fighting capability, long range, long endurance, and they will add immensely to the fighting power of the Eastern Fleet.
You've been commanding officer of the INS Vindhyagiri, if I'm not mistaken, Admiral Prakash, a ship that belonged to the sort of predecessor class of these ships that have been commissioned today. Very different ships, but if one were to compare, out of public interest, how far have we come from those ships to these ships that we've seen entering service today, sir?
Okay, so indulge me a little to give you a bit of history. This is called the Nilgiri class, because the first ship of this class was INS Nilgiri, whose designs we bought or borrowed from UK, and we built it in Mazagon Docks, Bombay, way back in the 60s. And there was huge amount of skepticism both in the UK and within India as to our capability of building a complete warship, which we hadn't done till now. But Nilgiri was the first step, and thereafter she was followed by 6 or 7 ships of the same class. And from ship to ship, we kept improving on the design. And the ship I commanded, Vindhyagiri, was a further development of the Nilgiri. It was longer, it was broader. Nilgiri could carry a small helicopter. Vindhyagiri could carry 2 Sea Kings, large twin-engine helicopters. So the class finished there, the Nilgiri class. Now this is a revival of the same class, but in a completely different avatar. Those were steam ships. They had a gun. They had a small first generation missile. These are ships driven by propulsion, which is called CODAG, combined diesel and gas. They've got gas turbine engines and they've got diesel engines, and they are equipped with anti-aircraft, anti-ship, ship-to-surface missiles, torpedoes, the works. They are possibly some of the most potent warships. I mean, they carry a battery of Barak missiles, and you've seen what the Barak can do in anger. And they've, the BrahMos.
Yes.
They've got a battery of BrahMos, which is a surface-to-surface missile. It's a deadly missile with a long range and pinpoint accuracy. And as I said, they've also got the Barak, which is an anti-aircraft missile, ship-to-air. So they are very potent, very powerful, long endurance. The Vindhyagiri could last at sea for about 4.5 days. These ships have immense endurance, I think weeks possibly. So very potent and very capable.
Admiral Prakash, you're right when you say that we have a way to go before catching up with the pace of the production of these ships compared to China and others. But I wanted you to comment on the the quality and the efficacy of these ships. Do these compare with some of the best in the world, sir, in your view?
Most certainly, I would say so. They can stand their own against any ship of this class, of this tonnage, 6,000 to 7,000 tons. I mean, ton for ton, they carry a huge punch. I don't think there are many ships. The BrahMos itself is unique. There are not many navies which carry a missile of that range and that capability. And then Barak, the combination is deadly.
In your view, sir, as a country that has built all these incredible ships, we've built an aircraft carrier as well, which is operational now. In your view, what are the next shipbuilding priorities as far as you are concerned? What are the things we should be focusing on?
Well, we already have on the design board, I think, a large ship, a large destroyer, which is almost a cruiser, I think 12 to 13,000 tons. That will be a huge achievement. But where we need to focus right now is submarine building program. The submarine strength has been dwindling steadily, and in spite of 6 Scorpions being added to our submarine fleet, our follow-on programs have slipped very badly. So we are in need of getting this Project 75 India going as soon as we can. Sooner the better.
Final question,
So
sir. Yeah, no, absolutely. I wanted to follow up on that submarine question itself, because we are in many ways a country that has its own nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines, which are I'm guessing far more complicated in many ways than building, conventionally powered attack submarines. But now we're going in that other direction. We're going to build nuclear powered attack submarines as well. How much of a challenge is this going to be, given what experience we've had in building submarines so far, sir?
Well, as far as submarine construction is concerned, we've already built SSBNs, the ballistic missile submarines. So the shipbuilding aspect is taken care of. So an SSN is a similar hull, similar propulsion, but differently armed. The SSN, the attack submarine, will carry anti-ship missiles, torpedoes, land attack weapons, and so on. So as far as shipbuilding is concerned, I think we have that issue is behind us. So it shouldn't be a problem, but building nuclear submarines is a huge challenge. They're expensive to maintain, to build, and there are huge security issues. It's time-consuming, nuclear fuel, etc. It's a very complex issue. But capability-wise, we are already there.
Circling back to my final question on the two ships that that entered service today, beautiful ships, and I was lucky enough to be able to spend some time on board them last week as well, Admiral, where we Vishnu Shom and I have done a full show with the commanding officers of these two great ships, and we also heard that these ships were built in a modular fashion, almost in slices rather than the entire hull being fabricated as one, but in pieces. That's quite an interesting thing, isn't it? That is promising in terms of maybe being able to build ships a little faster and more efficiently.
Yes, certainly. Modular construction has its tremendous advantages because you can farm out the modules to various other shipyards and then assemble them. It's a matter of interest. The British built their aircraft carrier in 3 or 4 different locations, and then they carried the sections to one Devonport and assembled the aircraft carrier there. So, getting hold of the modular techniques is a good achievement, and it'll add to our speed of construction, I'm sure.
Very, very proud day for the Indian Navy, and I know even though you're not in Vizag, hopefully you will be able to visit these lovely ships soon and spend some time on board them. I know they'll be very proud to host you. Admiral Anprakash, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it on India Matters. Thanks so much for watching. See you at the same time tomorrow. Coming up is the buck stops here with Padmaja, where the Election Commission has called out Rahul Gandhi once again, says everybody's come and spoken to us. Why haven't you? The buck stops here, up next.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
He's a soldier, you are a soldier, and this is war.
When the world rages, a soldier stands firm and focused on his mission, just like Finesta Windows is engineered to keep out noise, dust and rain.
Switch to Finesta Windows. Don't forget to watch War 2 from 14th of August.
माय बर्थडे गिफ्ट टू पापा, ये उनके पापा की पहली गाड़ी एक गराज में पड़ी थी दार्जिलिंग में, फिर 3 मैकेनिक, पेंटिंग, पॉलिशिंग। जब इसे फाइनली घर लाया ना, तब लगा लाइफ में ग्रो किया है। बुलाओ।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold ICICI CDSL for the long term? Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide, and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years. Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power, what is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru. Only on NDTV 24/7.
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी। तो मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियां आती हैं। तो जब ये रियलाइज़ हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया। कशित आई ऐसे बॉय मिलते मुंबई में, चांस ही नहीं।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Fenesta Windows, beautiful and durable designs. इंस्टॉलेशन से मेंटेनेंस की लाइफ लॉन्ग कस्टमर सर्विस। आपके घर में फिनेस्टा नहीं है तो कॉल कीजिए।
Fine, finer, Fenesta.
Mohit, you are known for your music. All your films, musics stay with us till today. I'm a millennial and those music are kind of music. So whenever we say Mohit Suri film aa raha hai, we know the music will be good, right? It's a
them and have meetings where high tea meets high stakes. When your day is anything but ordinary, you deserve a shower that's extraordinary.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Well, the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves.
And Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash. Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players and this is going to be the ultimate test. Pulling us other opposition parties. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
Good evening and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Padmaja Joshi, and on the day's biggest issue, the buck stops here. The vote chori campaign by the India bloc got a major booster shot today as the opposition's Vote Adhikar Yatra entered its 10th day in Bihar. But even as India partners ratchet up the pressure, the Election Commission isn't backing down either, putting the two sides almost eyeball to eyeball. But first, let's talk about Rahul Gandhi's Pan Bihar Yatra. On its 10th day, the Congress MP reached Supal along with Tejasvi Yadav, where he got some additional firepower with the presence of his sister and Wayanad MP Priyanka Gandhi and Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will participate in the Yatra for 2 days and offer prayers at the Janki Temple in Sitamarhi tomorrow. It's being seen as a significant outreach to the women vote in Bihar. Subsequently, other prominent opposition leaders like Akhilesh Yadav and K. Stalin will also make an appearance in this Yatra. But the theme for all of them is common. Their focus areas may be different, but there is one overarching theme that the opposition is trying to take back the right to vote, which is purportedly being stolen from the people of India by the Election Commission together with the BJP. Now, both sides at this point are pretty much on two sides of the fence. While the Congress and RJD have branded the poll panel B team of the BJP and have accused it of opacity, the Election Commission has asked a simple question. Is this protest only for the sake of protesting? And if not, why hasn't the Congress actually engaged with the poll commission and participated in meetings that the EC has sought? Why has Rahul Gandhi refused to submit all of that proof on affidavit? And if the Election Commission is asking all political parties, all their BLAs, to submit their objections and claims, why is the Congress party conspicuous by its absence?
मेरे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस पे बीजेपी के एक नेता ने बयान नहीं दिया, मोदी जी ने एक शब्द नहीं बोला, अमित शाह ने एक शब्द नहीं बोला। जब चोर को पकड़ा जाता है, चोर बिल्कुल चुप हो जाता है। जब पुलिस वाले उससे पूछते हैं क्या किया, बिल्कुल चुप हो जाता है, कुछ बोलता नहीं हो, क्योंकि जानता है कि भैया पकड़ लिया, फंस गया।
ये लोग संविधान के प्रति इनकी लेस मात्र भी भरोसा नहीं है, इनके पास कोई जनाधार बचा नहीं है। बार बार हारने की हताशा से ये भारत की संवैधानिक व्यवस्था को तोड़ने में उन्माद है।
आजाद हिंदुस्तान में आजादी के बाद चुनाव आयोग के समक्ष और उनके सामने इतना बड़ा सवालिया निशान आज तक नहीं लगा था। छोटे मोटे लगते थे, छोटे मोटे आरोप लगते थे, लेकिन इतना गंभीर आरोप जहां ओपेसिटी, गैर पारदर्शिता चुनाव आयोग का आभूषण बन के रह गई।
झूठ को सच नहीं बना सकते। राहुल गांधी वोट चोरी एक थेथरोलॉजी है, थेथरोलॉजी के सिवा कुछ नहीं है। आज तारीख हो गया 26 तारीख, आखिर क्यों नहीं एक वोट को भी दाखिल कर पाए? इससे साबित होता है ये झूठ को सच करना चाहते हैं, इसके सिवा कुछ नहीं।
Well, Rahul Gandhi has said that so far there have been absolutely no answers to all of the claims, all of the allegations that he has leveled. That's not entirely true because the Election Commission, remember, 9 days ago had held a detailed press conference. Subsequently, many within the government have also spoken. But now the Election Commission has asked some very specific questions about how sincere is the opposition really. They have put out the following arguments. First, that the aim of the Election Commission is to weed out any mistakes that may exist. Shouldn't political parties be cooperating in that? Two, that parties who are protesting on the streets aren't engaging with the Election Commission when they are invited to do so. Why is that? Three, that over 99% of the electors, actually 99.11% of the electors in Bihar have already submitted their documents with 1 week still left to go for claims and objections, which means that electors actually are participating in the entire process of revision despite the politics and cynicism around it. And finally, that in the process so far, over 1 lakh electors have submitted objections, but less than a dozen, actually only 10 BLAs or block level